Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Back to the Pittsburgh Pirates show. Good morning, everybody. All Pirates, all the time. No, unfortunately, that is not true. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers, everybody. This is episode 812. Welcome back. Glad to be back. And boy, do we got lots to talk about today. Lots of things to talk about. It's most of it ain't even good. It's like we have a political show. We're gonna talk, and nothing as good is gonna come out of this. We're gonna talk just to hear ourselves anyway, because it's what we do. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is again episode 812 of the Two Dumb Yinzers, Mike. Just 188 short shows away from the big 1,000. We're getting there slowly but surely, and I think your microphone is off.
We will get there. And by episode 1,000, I'll have my microphone on.
You'll get. Hey, you're still new at this. You'll get it.
Hey, right now, is this coaching or is this player execution right here with the microphone? It's paralleling the Steelers, brother.
Very interesting. Same person.
Same issues. Same personnel. Same. I got the same coach. I think you got to take a hard look in the mirror, brother.
We got the same coach. You have 8 years worth of different teams and players, but yet the same results. We're going to get into that and a lot more today. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Glad to be back. It's Monday morning, and here we are. Good morning to Cody on the board. Always great seeing Cody. Tortilla, always great seeing Tortilla. First of all, I do want to start the day by saying I do appreciate everybody for going over and supporting the guys on their Sunday ventures over on right here on the Two Dumb Yinzer Media Network. Of course, yesterday the review show after the football games. Finch was in there, and I did really well. Did a great job, and then also Derpy. We introduced his nerd show last night at 9 o'clock as well. It's actually really good. His his teammate is really good. Like Chris,
Yeah.
the guy he works with, he's really good.
Yeah.
And he makes Derpy seem not so bad. So it was okay.
He does a lot of the heavy lifting over there.
He does a lot of heavy lifting. I do want to say good morning to everybody on the board. I do see people coming in the dough. In the dough, they coming. And I do want to say good morning to Cody. I do want to say good morning to Tortilla, to Richard, to Brian. What's up, Brian? I do want to say good morning to Mark Malone. Everybody, welcome back to the show. A lot of things to go over today, guys. Just whether you're at work, whether you're just chilling, whatever you're doing, just relax. We have a lot of shit to go over. When we in the off season, we joked briefly, not long, but briefly, we said, why don't we go get Danny Dimes? And then we all laughed hysterically and went on with how great our defense was going to be and our pickups are going to be and the job that our GM is doing putting together his team. We said, Danny Dimes, what a joke. And we continued to build this team and continued to build our defense and continued to bring in superstars and continued to bring in big names. And Danny Dimes goes to Indianapolis and we all laughed. And we continue to talk about having the best defense ever and the players talking about historically how great this defense could be and all this stuff. And Danny Dimes is in a quarterback competition. Any way you slice it, it can't be good for what's going on with the Colts. And guess what? The Steelers have the highest paid defense, so things are going to fix itself. So we start the season. First week a little rough. Get the win, though. This week, we all see what happens. We're going to get that and a lot more in just a moment. Meanwhile, Danny Dimes does something that never was done in NFL history. He leads the Colts. He leads the Colts to 10 straight scoring drives to start off the game or the season. Nobody's ever done this in the history of ever. Danny Dimes. 10 straight scoring drives to start off the season. What else did he do? Oh, he did something. Whatever he did, it was good. Whatever we're doing. Oh, here it is. They haven't punted in 2 games. The Indianapolis Colts haven't punted this season. Yeah, baby. So we play a game yesterday with the highest paid defense in the league once again. Back-to-back years. So you're figuring things got to start getting better. Right? Because we've been giving up 29 points since in the last, I think it was 8 games, give or take, per game, going all the way back to last season. Things got to get better. We spent too much money to have things not go well. We got a new offense. It's a 3 tight end set. It's going to blow the league away. No one's ever seen anything like this in the league. And we don't need that wide receiver too. Why do we need that? We got guys. They're all midgets, but we got them. They're all midgets or white. Do what you want with that. What else? What else do we have going for us? We have a lot going for us. So here's what went down. Pittsburgh Steelers again. They lose in their home opener. That is 2. They're 2-6 in their last home opens. Their last 8 home openers. I'm sorry, 2-6 in their last 8 last home openers. They have the highest paid defense, and they've given up so far this season 65 points and 789 yards, averaging roughly 32 points a game given up. 30 points back-to-back given up for the first time in Tomlin's era, if you will. So a lot of things to go over, guys. Some injuries comes out of the game yesterday, of course. Loudermilk goes down with a high ankle. Alex Highsmith, once again, another injury. Can we start to label this guy as an injury hazard? Patrick Queen hurts his ribs, plays like a beast, goes out there. What's wrong with his ribs? Still goes out there and continue. I got to be honest with you. He became that thumper, Mike, that we were talking about last week that we need on this team.
Mm-hmm.
He turned the switch on. I mean, dude, whatever he did over the week, it worked.
He was flying around before that injury, and you can see the injury affected him, but he gutted out that game, and he was on pace to have a whale of a game before that injury happened to him. He was balling the fuck out.
So with that being said, we didn't even get into the good stuff. Yeah, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. I'm glad to see everybody. Tortilla, John, my man, Big John Stubb, middle name Mud, Mark Malone. What's up, brother man? Caleb, the whole way down the board. Yinzer Nation, welcome to the show. The whole way down. All right, so this is how it started out, Mike. I thought we had this game won. Oh, you know what? Another thing we did in this offseason, we laughed at the idea of maybe grabbing Sam Darnold. I just want to leave out of that. I'm just going to hang that out. I'm not even going to get into it. But this is what happened yesterday. So we come into this football game against Seattle Seahawks. I thought we would win this game because I thought we would improve from the first week. And you know what? We do have the highest paid defense in the league for how many years in a row. Things are going to come together. And you know what? We have a lot of things going on in our favor. So the game starts out, and they drive the ball clear down the field pretty easily. And you know what I always say to you, Mike? I always say don't really pay too much attention to that first drive.
Yeah,
it is planned. It's scripted. They go out and they practice it, quite a few times a week. And that's why a lot of times teams do come out successful in that first drive. So they come out, they drive the ball the whole way down the field. Mike, it's been 22 games since Seattle's been able to do that on the first drive of the game. Mike, we let it up for the second week in a row. Again, last week against the Jets, they drive the whole way down the field and score a touchdown. In Seattle in game 2, drive the whole way down the field and scored a touchdown. A couple observations that I did make from that first quarter, Mike, was Patrick Queen certainly stepped it up. He turned into the player that we thought he needed to be. And he was about one of the 3 guys that I thought that we could actually give praise to today. But I'm sure they're going to get buried in the conversation that's going to happen. Peyton Wilson, for some reason, only tackles people by grabbing them by the waist and body slamming them, which I don't understand this. I will get into that shortly. And then the first quarter tops out with, the first quarter then continues when rookie Torrey Holton catches his very first catch as a touchdown against the Steelers. Offensive line looked a little bit better in the first quarter. We were able to run a little bit better than we were. Chris Boswell kicks a couple field goals in the first quarter, a big Jalen Ramsey interception, and and also Scotty Miller getting thrown down to the ground by his face mask was a couple of things that happened in the first quarter that were certainly talking points. The referee wasn't even. I mean, he was looking nowhere else but at Scotty Miller getting thrown to the ground by his face mask. Pass blocking still looked terrible, and I got to tell you one thing. Now that we're losing, the Roger-isms are a little bit more annoying now. After week 1, I was able to stomach the Roger-isms, but now after we lost this kind of game, the Roger-isms are more annoying. And for example, here's one that I particularly find annoying, is when he buckles his chin strap, and he just buckles it right back on the side, and he doesn't do anything. He just goes in the huddle, calls a play, comes back out, unbuckles it, and then buckles it across. That's an error. That's a Rogerism that pisses me off now.
Dude, I've hated that his entire career because I would be like, why the fuck are you doing that? And I've always hated it. It didn't bother me week 1 because he played well.
Right.
This week, I got a thing about him, but my God, it fucking annoyed me.
The other thing, and I'm sure there's going to be more. What about when he starts hand doing the what he believes is a penalty? When a penalty's not called.
Yeah.
And he just stands there and goes, I thought, bro, just stop. Focus.
Maybe throw the ball on time.
Yeah.
Maybe get out of your. Last week you held the ball for like a nanosecond. This time you held it together for 5 billion years before you threw the fucker.
And then he stands there and stares at the referee like he expects the referee to change the, what are you, Michael Jordan? No.
Right?
So those two Rogerisms were getting on my nerves. And again, at the end of the first quarter, Mike, it ended out 7-6. The Seahawks were up 7-6. We kicked 2 field goals. They did get the touchdown. I'm just going to kind of go through this by detail on the by quarter, but I'm gonna take time in between each quarter so we can get onto the board because I do see Feel the Steel. I see everybody rolling in, man, and I don't want to miss anybody. Good morning, Cody. Cody says that shit was embarrassing. Caleb Johnson may be touching. Then he says, fire Tomlin. Tortilla says, I haven't heard many people talk about the flag we declined, making it 3rd and 1 instead of 1st and 5, just so DK can have the cage. Was that what happened? I was going to ask you guys. I thought they declined. It seemed weird. It seemed like that should have been a first down.
Yeah, like where everything happened, that should have been enough. Like the play should have been enough for a first down. But I have no problem with that. Your guy was struggling. Get him the ball, get his confidence, and then you felt like the line was moving that early in the game. Go ahead, punch it in for they got the first down. I had no problem with it because we gained more yards out of it.
And here's the thing: at that point in the game, you thought the line was looking a little bit better. The line was,
they were playing really good in that first quarter.
Jalen Warren started to run the ball well. Gainwell's kind of, I don't know. Well, anyway, a lot of things to talk about today. Where was it? Oh, yeah, let's get back on this. So let's go right here to Richard. Richard said, "What's up, Richard? I do want to say good morning to you, sir." He says, "Coaching and the players on this team suck." Brian says, last six games for TJ Watt has 7 tackles and 0 sacks. That's what you pay the big bucks for, man.
Mm-hmm. And they were moving him around all over the defense like we all wanted to see. And we got, a sack from him maybe?
Yeah.
That was it. Like, he wanted to move around. They wanted to move him around. They moved him around. We got a sack out of him. Doesn't it look like he's a bit slower this year?
He does.
Like, he doesn't have the explosiveness that he once had. How he shot out of a cannon every play. It felt like him and a lot of guys on the defense were a half a step slow getting to the quarterback. To where if they were being explosive off the line, we should have had a lot more sacks, a lot more pressures. Seemed like everyone was a half a step slow.
Yeah.
Whether it be in coverage, Jalen Ramsey, you had that pick, but my God, that opening touchdown, that was your guy.
Yes,
Mike,
that was the guy's first catch of his career.
Yeah, you were tracking him all over the field, and you were slow to die. You watched him the whole route over, and you were just slow to get to him. Like, we doubled JSN on that play for a reason. So yeah, you had to follow your guy across field, and you fucking loafed over there. Come on, dude, you gotta be better than that. You've been in the league for how long now? You got to do that. And a lot of guys look a half a step slow this year to what they were last year.
And I go on. I say, what? Jackson Smith-Njigba should not be beating us, but because we have the number 1 defense, we have the highest paid defense. Even Madden recognizes the greatness of our defense. And Jackson Smith-Njigba basically comes in and annihilates us with his own doing. Mike, what did he do? Let's see. He had 8 catches for 103 yards. 8 catches. So not only did we give up a 100-yard receiver, we also gave up a 100-yard runner, where Walker had 13 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown. And Cooper Kupp, Mike, also had 90 yards on 7 carries. Yeah. So it's safe to say not a lot of good happened for us, Mike. And maybe the score should have been worse than what it was, just because we played such a shit game. And they did play. They played well enough to win. They didn't do anything amazing, but you know what? The way they were able to just take the ball and move up and down the field on this defense, again with the money that we're spending on this defense, it's unacceptable. This isn't a good team that we're going to play this year. We're going to play teams that are a lot better than this. We're going to play teams that could actually do things that they want. Teams that could actually go out and impose their will. Teams that could go out and control a football game. This team was none of them. But yet we managed to shit the bed. And again, this in my opinion, this is early, but it's a big loss. Now you're heading to New England next week. New England's struggling a little bit. They're 1-1. I'm sorry, but that'll be a whole nother thing that we can talk about all through this week, guys, as we do keep going on. Let's jump back on the board. Mark Malone says, Mike Tomlin would have turned the steel curtain into the Great Wall of transsexuals. Tortilla says, I think we were all in the game until our rookie Caleb made a rookie mistake, but we still have a lot of issues all around. That's kind of my issue. Boy, is he sure taking a lot of heat. This is the dumbest play ever. What a dumb play. This rookie, this guy shouldn't be on the team. Let me ask you, if that play didn't happen, we could have still lost this football game. It wasn't like things were going amazing for us, or even well when that happened. Don't get me wrong. It was a dumb mistake, and there's no reason for a couple of things. After 5 games of being the kickoff returner, now just finding out you don't know the rules as a rookie, that kind of comes back on the special teams coaches. How do you not know that your personnel don't know what the rules are? It just changed. This should have been a conversation with everybody that's involved right now, the coaches, the players. Again, it was stupid, and like I said, Mike told me yesterday, you go all the way back to the game against San Francisco when Barry Foster's basically did the same thing. They started a season off about 20-some years ago.
Like, it really reminded me, because it was the same thing. The ball hits, rolled, and walked away. It was literally deja vu all over again. Like,
And this is why I'm not upset, because he made a rookie mistake. The other guys just played bad all day.
Yeah.
They just didn't live up to the standard. They didn't live. They're the highest paid defense. Once again, this was a rookie mistake, albeit a dumb one, and probably should be yanked because he has no explosiveness anyway. But anyway, the defense and the offense and the lines and everything else, they downplayed all day. So again, I'm not going to go on Caleb. We'll talk about what happened. But again, I'm not coming down on him like everybody. He's the easiest scapegoat here because again, it was a very dumb mistake by a rookie. And again, and that's why again I put a lot more of what happened yesterday on everybody else. Yes, that play led to a touchdown. Yes, it led to 10 points in under a minute, whatever it was. But at the end of the day, that ultimately didn't. Come on, if that's what we're going to blame it on and let everybody else scot-free, that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's the easy, it's low hanging fruit right there. There's 51 other guys, well, 47 others for who dressed today, and an entire coaching staff that can be blamed.
I mean, this is supposed to be a historic defense, Mike.
Yeah,
historic.
Yeah, historic.
Oh, it's historic. All right.
It's historically fucking slow. Like I'm watching this game and like there weren't many glaring like, oh, this guy's running wide open, except for that Jalen Ramsey touchdown. Guys were just a half step slow on covering their guy. It was just abysmal. And again, 44 years of watching Steeler football, I can write the game plan for you. Throw the ball across the middle of the field. It's going to be wide open all day, fucking every day. I don't care if you got Dick LeBeau, Jim Haslett, Dom Capers, Terrell Austin, Mike Tomlin, whoever you want to throw out the defense coordinator. Ain't one of them can design a defense to cover the middle of the fucking field. So that's always open. So, easy pickings right there. But my God, we're making some of these quarterbacks look like the most accurate passers of all time because we can't get stay in a guy's hip for a pass breakup on simple crossing routes and slants. Like how fucking slow are you to diagnose a play? In this game right here, we really missed JPJ because last time we played Cooper Kupp against the Rams, it was Porter's rookie year. Cooper Kupp was eating us alive. We put in Porter on him, and he shut him down the rest of the fucking game. So, we definitely need him back because we got guys playing more than they should. JPJ, we need him back ASAP. I think we really missed him in the secondary of this game because he would have clamped down one of those receivers, and then we could have designed something else to worry about one of the other guys. So, yeah. And that was a huge loss.
And play like Superman. I think this team still plays like crap.
It's still going to play like crap, but at least we don't have to worry about Cooper Kupp or JSN. You take
Unfortunately,
out.
That's the way that the league is. You get hurt and you miss games. And again, it was not good, guys. Also, let me get into let's get back to the board, Mike. I don't want to abort the board.
Did you say abort the board?
Mark Malone says, could anyone do less with what with more than Tomlin? The answer is no. The highest paid defense in the league is the worst. Well, I bet you if we had this defense and we had the offense with Ben, Bell, and Brown, we would probably still be struggling. It feels really stale right now. It feels really stale. Offense, defense, an emotionless coach on the sideline for the most part. Even special teams that I often go on and on about. And I got to be honest with you. The kickers are doing fine. The punter is booting the shit out of the ball. Mm-hmm. Chris Boswell is automatic. But again, I guess
coverage units suck now.
Well, they even got slightly better yesterday. But again, let's see. Tortilla says we don't have an offensive line for Danny Dimes. That's what I was going to say, Mike. Even if we did bring in Danny Dimes, would he be doing what he's doing now here? I highly doubt it.
Well, here's some things I got. Last week it was, God damn it, why didn't we keep Justin Fields? This week, God damn it, why didn't we go and get Darnold or Danny Dimes? But all offseason, all I've heard is we can't coach. We can't develop players. So what's the fucking point of going out and get one of these guys if we can't coach or develop? Which one is it, guys? Can we coach and develop?
Well,
Do we
let's
not
try a
coach
little.
and develop, or do we
I mean,
get one of these guys and they automatically
we
become
try
good?
players after players after. Again, this is the longest period of time that the Steelers have not won a playoff game in modern history, and since the Super Bowl started. At some point, you got to try a little bit of everything. And the one thing we haven't tried yet was changing, coaches in a significant move. Yes, we did bring this guy. We had a fellow named Canada that was basically a high school coach and some other issues, and I think people could make a lot of arguments for this. But again, does this team develop Danny Dimes the way he was able to? Does this team have 10 straight scoring drives to start the season if Danny Dimes is here? Does this team not have to punt after the first 2 games if Danny Dimes is here? I just highly doubt it. It feels very still. It feels very end of the Chuck Noll era-ish to me.
Yeah.
There's just nothing is getting fixed. It's just a lot of the same. They're just going out and doing the expected amount. Yes, players are stepping up. Jalen Ramsey. I mean, come on, I wouldn't not want this guy on my team. But it's starting to feel really stale, and I stuck up for this guy, and he's making it really hard for me because at first I was against. I was starting to see the trend. And I was like, you know what? No, he's good. This is going to get better. Everyone keeps talking about how great he is. Maybe I'm missing something. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and then the longer I wait, the harder it gets to continue to stick up for him. Something's got to give here. At some point, something's got to give. Again, these games are going to get a lot tougher. We have a lot of tough games. The NFC North is going to be tough. The Chargers, the Bills, the Ravens twice. Of course, the big news for Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, out for 3 months. Little turf toe, maybe a turf toe injury. He is going to he got surgery on his toe. He's out for 3 months. Yeah. So that is something we don't have to worry about, which is a huge plus for us. Considering what's going on with our defense, whatever that guy Browning, I think his name is. Yeah. He will be the quarterback as far as I know for a while. But dude, let's get back on the board. Mark Malone says, I was in favor of that. Well, Derpy, that monkey, you know what he did the other day? He's texting during the game. Y'all wanted Rodgers. Y'all wanted Rodgers. No, motherfucker. You remember who I wanted? I wanted Sam Darnold. I wanted him early. I wanted him often. And then when we didn't get him, I said, you know what I said? Well, Aaron Rodgers, if he comes, he'll be our quarterback. I'll stand behind him, and I'll accept it. And guess what? That's what I did. We didn't lobby for Rodgers.
Was it just me, or did Aaron Rodgers look like he'd rather be out doing ayahuasca?
The whole team looked like they were out of it. You were telling me this during the game, and I'm thinking they all look so out of it. Nobody looks excited to be playing their first home game.
No, I told you, I can't remember if I told you off air or not, but I said, I got a bad feeling. I'm going to have a bad feeling Sunday. And the minute I saw Aaron Rodgers' eyes just staring so disinterested, he reminded me of Ben his last season of I don't want to do. He had that. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do this. And it carried over to the rest of the team. Our guy doesn't want to be out here. Why should I? He just looked completely disinterested. Any play, even if it was a positive play or not, he just had that look of
aloof.
He looked aloof, like he'd rather be anywhere but here. Whereas last week, he was happy to be out there. Every play, he was up for the team, whether it was good play, bad play, get guys just stay motivated. This game, he just did not care.
Yinzer Nation, welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. I do want to say good morning, sir. Yinzer Nation says Danny Dimes, quarterback one of the NFL. Who would have saw that coming? The Giants could have sure used him.
I made the joke during that game, damn man, we should have kept Russell Wilson and add him to the list, and then he did that. I'm going to heave it downfield. Malik Neighbors is down there somewhere.
Cody says teams running to the left, right at Peyton Wilson, then running him over. Hey, Tom, I thought TJ Watt was going to move around the line, guys. Looks like a statue out there.
But Watt did bounce around the line.
Well,
he bounced all over the defense.
I know.
He did.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
He did.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
You want me to do the jumping jack?
Yes, God damn it. Acknowledge me.
I'm just so Mark Malone says, I told you bastards as always. John says Mark Madden and Kabuli are both correct about this team. Enough Pollyanna ball washing. This team has been shit for over a decade. I'm tired of the toxic BS positivity for money found on podcasts and news. Mark Malone says you dipshit acted like I was huffing paint. Well, you were huffing paint. Damn it. Hey, but listen, guys, what I tell you, we're going to learn a lot about this team this week. I said it was going to be a litmus test. Last week was, we couldn't really tell what the hell that was up in New York, but now we kind of have a better idea, and they went out and did it instead of, speculating and saying the things that everybody's saying. That's why I let them play the game, and we certainly got a lot of material from the game that was played. There's no two ways about that. Caleb Johnson, Cody says, Mark Malone, Caleb Johnson needs to be pulled from returns permanently. And they pulled him and put Jalen Warren back there. Do we not have anybody that can return a kick?
Put Scotty Miller back.
Put one of them little white guys back there. Come on.
Right. I see Gunnar Olszewski out there returning punch right now. Get Scotty Miller out there.
John says Tallman is around because of pigment, not performance.
Bullshit. Well, that is fucking asinine and bullshit, and you fucking know it. That is fucking retarded. Well, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking heard.
I don't know if it's. It's his opinion. Let him have it.
Yeah, but I'm allowed to have my opinion. That opinion is.
Well, you can't jump on people every time there's something even closely race related. Come on. I think people could say that.
And maybe if I don't agree with it, I'm allowed to counteract.
And I'm defending them. That's all. Yeah. And I'm allowed to say what I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark Malone says DEI coach. He agrees.
Retarded.
So everybody's wrong and you're right. Okay. Yeah. Tortilla says I don't know if Tallman is to blame for loss yesterday. Mark Malone says LOL. Dude, this team is not ready to play football on Sundays. That's his fault. Get your team prepared, Mike, and then you can say, well, these guys why has it been happening for not a decade? Players come and go. The only thing that's staying the same is the head coach. Coordinators come and go. Same results. It's the end of the Chuck Noll era. Stale. It feels like it. Nothing is being done. We have the highest paid defense in the league.
When you have guys running stride for stride with the receiver and the receiver catches the ball, God damn it, why didn't the coach go in there and personally break up that ball? You got a guy on a one-on-one block. God damn it, why did the coach go out there and beat that guy?
Their coach didn't run out there and catch any ball, and guess what? They played just fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like we got beat man on man.
They were prepared for 10 straight years. Okay,
I'm talking about this game right here. We're talking about we got beat man on man.
It heavily bleeds into the past decade. This isn't just the first time that this is going on.
We're talking about today's game. That's what
I'm talking about. I'm talking about how it bleeds into the last 10 years.
Yeah, and there were multiple times down there where yes, coaching was to blame. This game was a lot on the players. Like you got to get yourself ready to play.
I think the coaches were. Listen,
like Chuck Noll was not a master motivator.
You know anything about the locker room? These guys, this is their job. They go in there, they prepare this team, they prepare their team to get ready. They don't listen. They have coordinators to do all the jobs. The coach has to figure out a way to get this team prepared to go out and play. And this team obviously hasn't been prepared for quite some time. This team has the highest paid defense in the league for 2 years in a row, and this defense is getting ran over. The ball shoved down its throat constantly. They're not doing any. Did that defense resemble anything of the top defense in the league? Does that defense resemble anything of the highest paid defense?
Not. These guys were getting beat by the man across from him.
And the guys in the Ben Bell and Brown show, they found a way to beat us too. So the fact of the matter is, all these teams we get all these weapons, but we find ways to lose. When other teams get weapons, they find ways to utilize them. Why are we on the shit end of that stick?
Why is we got a middle linebacker seeing a fullback come to him, he settles down in the holes and plows right through. What the hell is Peyton Wilson doing? Why is he playing like a chicken shit? You got to go up there and you got to eat.
I hardly say that he's a step behind, but I hardly say he's a chicken shit. The guy's his head's in every play. The guy's involved in every tackle.
He saw that fullback coming through and just settled down in there and said, I'm just going to get ran over.
And I've seen this guy made many tackles where nobody else is anywhere even clear, where a guy would have gained 30 more yards if he wouldn't have caught him on the sideline. My beef with him is to learn how to tackle.
Yeah.
This guy, how many times he catch a guy by the hip and he starts swinging them around through the air because he can't throw them to the ground? I thought you were a tackler. That's not you can't pick a guy and swing him around for 15 minutes till he falls. That's insane. Let's go back to the board.
Let's go back to the board.
John says this. He says, there is my man, MM, Mr. Positivity during the Fantasy Island off season. Tortilla says, yeah, we need. Wait, what? There's my man, Mr. Positive. Who's that? Is that my? I see. I don't know who No, we have a here as well. I always get lost when you say
Yeah.
Update me on who is, and I could respond to that. Tortilla says, yeah, we need our defense to be better in our offensive line, but we still in the game given how bad. You know what, though? We're not able to impose our will. That's an ultimate overall problem. When was the last time we were on our heels? When was the last time we went out there and imposed our will on anybody? When was the last time we went out there and took control of the game? That's just not in this team's vocabulary, apparently. It doesn't happen anymore, and I don't understand why. You're making moves every year. Oh, these are our problems. Let's go fix it, and they do, and then things are going to get better, and they're not. So again, things are chippy today, but I think that we're all a little frustrated off of just the performance of this team overall, and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Tortilla says, "Oh, we were in the game until Caleb." I know. Again, if the whole team, if the team played well and that happened and we lost the game, he's my goat. He's my scapegoat. But the fact of the matter was, we just didn't play good. We didn't play good at all.
No. Guys weren't getting open. Guys weren't covering. Couldn't get off blocks. Couldn't block as the game went on.
John says, TJ Tomlin is involved with draft schemes and who plays. Stop ball washing them. Tortilla says, so this is so his supposed to guess that Caleb is going to let the ball get recovered by the other team. And the thing was, the guy's never been in the league while this rule has been implemented. But again, this should have been something that's been stressed to them extensively by coaching, whether it be special teams or just maybe a double check. The head coach, just because things aren't going so great, swing in and say, hey guys, you all cool with the rules, know what's going on, give a little cool nod. But the rookie has never played under these particular rules. And again, I refuse. Yes, it was a bad play. But again, the team just not playing good enough for me to make him the scapegoat entirely. Tortilla. So he's supposed to. Okay, so we got that. Mark Malone, LMS, Tomlin's D getting horse raped by Darnold. I mean, come on. He's either really good or he's not. He won 15 games in Minnesota. He looked decent this year. Maybe he's good. Maybe we missed on another one. Cody Silva said Calvin Austin III steals Muse's pass, resulting in an interception. Yep. Caleb possibly touched the ball either way. It left the landing zone, easy touchdown. Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers certainly pointed that out. He didn't want that one to be his fault.
Well,
I know. He went in. He was supposed to go out, and
Calvin said he was like, "Hey, I messed up. I'm the one who should. I am coached. He's coached."
Duck everybody. He's came unhinged.
He was coached. But we don't coach here in Pittsburgh, Calvin. Get the memo. Get on the same page. We don't.
Well, he was coached and he did the wrong thing. So there you go, coaching once again.
Coach not in his ear out there as the plays going on. Hey, Calvin.
But the guy did the wrong thing. That means
Calvin,
he wasn't prepared.
We coached you to do the right thing.
You think the good receivers in this league are constantly doing the wrong thing? No, they're doing the right thing. That's why they're good. Calvin Austin didn't even have a catch. Did that midget even? He had one catch, I think.
He had one catch.
So between him and Roman Wilson are number twos. These are our legit number twos. They had two catches. Roman Wilson finally gets his first catch of the season, and Calvin Austin the third. These are our number two receivers. We don't need a number two, guys, because we need a
number one.
Because we have the Arthur Johnson offense. We have all these tight ends. Don't worry about a number two receiver. We don't need it. Crazy?
Do we even have a number one?
We better. We paid a lot of money for him.
For 3 drops?
I'm getting there.
I know, brother.
John says, who called me out for calling Rodgers old and not watching Jets film? I mean, he had a good game against the Jets. From when he was the Jets. Yeah, okay. Now, again, John, I mean, these are things we said all off season. This was not. Listen, he's not my first option, but what did I say all off season? If he becomes our quarterback, I will be behind him because he's our quarterback. And there's nothing we could do beyond this point. We got to just hope that they could bring it together. But He certainly wasn't the guy that I was fishing for. And as a matter of fact, all the way until he got signed. I wasn't a big fan of this.
He wasn't good this week. He was good last week. So he's, I guess,
we're 1-1.
We're
Tortilla
1-1.
says
He's
literally
1-1.
no one could have predicted that. Peyton Wilson trash bag. And that's the thing about Peyton Wilson. He's always he's always at the tackle. He's almost like, remember when Cam used to fall on everybody?
Yeah.
But he makes a lot of effort to get there, but he's just never there on time. He's always chasing the guy down the sideline. He makes the tackle to keep the guy from going for 40 yards.
Yeah.
But he's never there to stop the guy from actually starting the run. And again, I wish he would learn how to tackle. You can't continue to tackle like that. You're in the NFL.
And that big first down conversion to that tight end, like that was his guy. That's why that guy was wide open. The tight end baited him with the blocking. Like, that's going to happen in that play. He's going to, like, you follow your tight end. When he disengages with you, don't go running at the quarterback. Turn and follow the fucking tight end. That's football 101, bro.
John says, if Tomlin was a general in the army, this podcast would be in Arabic. Fearless Steel, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Fearless Steel. Welcome to the terrible board, my man. Tortilla says the ref even got in front of Miller like he was going to retaliate. Fearless Steel, it's just another game, fellas. Just another game. That's the thing. I mean,
we can't have that positivity.
At some point, we're just expecting things to get better. Is that so hard? Is that so hard? Is that so too much to want? Is for your team to eventually get better and stop getting their ball ran down their throat and stop giving up 30 points a game as they have in their last 7 games, going all the way back to last season, and including the playoffs. Where's the improvement? What did we do this offseason? Game plan wise, personnel wise. Where's the results here? RB says, John, you think that was awful ass game? You think that awful ass game was on Rodgers? John says, there's a reason no other team wanted Rodgers. That's a good point. That is a good point. Nobody else really ran out and was fighting us to get Rodgers. There was a chance he could have went to New Orleans because they had nobody, but that's a whole different story.
Oh, shit, man. If Rodgers keeps shitting the bed, the defense keeps shitting the bed, a lot of people are going to get what they want. Massive changes in here in top draft picks. So
that's another thing.
Like this should be a day of celebration because we're one step closer to that goal.
John finishes that comment up by saying it is because he is old and can't move. But you're right. If they continue on this route, we might just get the draft pick we want. We might just get the new coach, maybe. Maybe remember when at the beginning of camp, when we finished up last year, Mike, at the beginning off season, we said let's just lose out. Let's and get a nice pick. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe this was a long roundabout way of going for that top 5 pick.
Hey, a lot of teams do it by shedding talent. We do it by acquiring talent. So we're not accused of tanking. This is like some 4D chess level thinking right here by the Steelers.
Phil still says, fellas, I heard a ping pong bounce in the chat. It's true, Brian.
It's table tennis.
Brian, he's probably still around. Say what's up, everybody. John says, RB, the offensive coordinator must call check downs because Rodgers can't move. Yes, Rodgers in the O-line playing, calling. Yeah. Now we'll get me through a few more of these, and then we'll get talk about a few of these things. Wes, what's up, man? Oh, it was great to see you on the terrible board. What's up? Welcome to the show. Wes Hatchett does say this. He says, we suck in all phases right now, guys, and not to mention we are getting completely outcoached. Imagine that. And I made this comment last year. I think it was during the 5-game losing streak. I said, when was the last time you can remember us out-coaching somebody? Where you think to yourself, well, that was a really good game plan. Did you see how we went out there and did that? And they just couldn't stop no matter what we did because we, again, I'm just piling on at this point. But you know what? I'm frustrated, just like everybody else is. Fearless still says non-divisional, non-conference game. Yeah, it's not big in the scheme of things, but at the end of the day, maybe it is. RB says, you want to admit it or not, this 100% a Tomlin special. Nothing changed from last week. No one is prepared to play. No one's motivated. Can't make in-game adjustments.
Nothing changed. The defense was entirely different this week. But okay, nothing changed. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page there.
Cody says DK, the only wide receiver to catch a pass after he drops the previous 4 passes. Other wide receivers couldn't get open. That's what I'm saying. They just don't have. They didn't have the size. I'm watching these midgets and again these white guys. I'm trying to win a football game here. Don't give me midgets and white guys. John says, toxic positively fans, your choice to fan the way you choose, but don't call me out for being honest and telling the truth anymore. You can live in your off-season comfort zone.
What? Okay.
John's being cryptic today. RB says Jack Sawyer in one game has outproduced what? You know what? That's true. Didn't Jack Sawyer get a sack?
Jack Sawyer got his sack. It was schemed up to where he shot the gap where TJ Watt was being triple teamed, and it worked out perfectly.
Jack Sawyer had a sack yesterday. Watt, the second highest paid non-quarterback in the league, hasn't had a sack in 7 games. So there's a lot of things going on here, guys. A lot of pieces, a lot of moving pieces, unfortunately, in the wrong direction. Tortilla says, John, that was a winnable game. It's week 2. I ultimately think it was winnable too. We just stunk. If we would have played better football, I think it would have been a winnable game. The fact of the matter is, we listen. The end of the first quarter, we were down 7-6, so we were down from the beginning. So we could jump all the way forward to the effed up kickoff. You know, the kickoff in the second half. But we were down 7-6 at the end of 1. So I mean, we weren't exactly blowing the roof off the place. It was 14-7 us at halftime. 14-14 at the end of the third, and then they scored a couple touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So I mean, there was never at any point that you really thought, man, things are looking good. It just always felt like, this is just, it feels stale again. Like Mike said, Aaron didn't look like he was completely in the game, and it felt like the rest of the players followed suit. Nobody seemed like they were really into it, and a couple of guys were out. Nobody just really looked like they were out to big plays. Tortilla says season isn't over. It's true. Season is far from over. Fortunately and unfortunately, I guess. But you know what? Again, Mike, we're tied in second place with the Ravens. The Bengals are 2-0, but they lose Joe Burrow for the season, basically. He gets toe surgery this morning. He is out for 3 months. And then the Browns, not surprising anybody, in the basement. So, we are in the mix of things here. But there's just things that you would wanted to see by now, that you would have liked to see by now, that we've been wanting to see since last year when things went bad. And that's what's concerning me. Is there any fix in sight is what I'm wondering. Or is this going to be the case of our season all year long? Just a bunch of unpredictable BS. Mike, we are the last defense in the league as far as giving up points. We've given up the most points in the league, and we are the highest paid defense in the league. It doesn't make any sense to be one extreme and to be the other, to be somewhere in the middle, but to be one extreme into the other is really unacceptable. Really unacceptable.
Oh yeah, like they got some shit they have to button up. I thought for our defense we're fourth. We're fourth worst. We gave up 63 points.
Okay, well.
Yeah, but we're up there. They're up there. There's only 3. But hey, if it's any consolation,
if you're 29 out of 32. That's not good for the highest paid defense.
Baltimore's right there with us, giving up 58. So,
but when you score like they do, it's a big difference.
Right? Yeah, if we can score the way we did in week 1, it wouldn't be a problem. But the way the offense was moving in week 2, it's an issue. Consistency. That's what they got to find. They got to find a consistent effort on offense.
Wes says TJ looked really slow. I agree.
Yeah, the explosiveness is not there like we saw in the years past.
In the second or third highest paid non-quarterback in the league, highest paid defense. Defense looked like shit. Watt looks slow. John says Ramsey can hit but can't cover. A bunch of old ass dudes past their prime, and others like Wilson who can't tackle. We are the oldest team in the league. RB says, John, what the fuck are you talking about? Rodgers was perfectly fine in the pocket. I mean, you do know football, right? Let's see. Oh, man, it moved on me here. He says mobility isn't running 4.33 and running 45. And you know what? Another thing he was doing, and I think it was for his own safety, was he rolled out a lot. Once a little pressure started caving in the pocket, he would take off. I like that. Just the fact that he was able to get out of the pocket, he was able to get a better look downfield. I mean, for what it is, for what we have, this is what he had to do. It was for survival. If he would have stayed in that pocket, he might have got sacked 10 times yesterday.
Dude, that rollout and that deep pass that he threw to Muth, that Muth dropped. Luckily, there was a penalty on the defense on that play, but showed he still has escapability and still has a cannon and an accurate arm as
You know
well.
what? Muth made up for that as well later on in the game by making a big catch down that same exact sideline.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah.
That was a good thing that happened. One of the few.
So yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. There are bright spots that you can pick out and go, okay, this is something you can build on. But they gotta fix a lot of the negative to actually, make those positive even better. So yeah, there's bright spots, but there's a lot more negatives than bright spots.
RB says Rodgers moved around around the pocket perfectly fine. Unfortunately, the pocket wasn't that great again. It wasn't as bad as last week. I give him that.
There was an improvement. There was
for what it's worth, there was an improvement.
And Seattle's D line, like coming into this game, like I told you, they had guys on there that can make plays, and they were moving around, and they did a lot better than I thought they would against that front. So that's a win there, but yeah, there are sometimes they just got overmatched, by that front. So they got to fix some shit. They did better than I thought they would.
Let me grab a few more messages, and I'm going to move on to the second quarter, and then we'll get into some numbers. A lot of things to get into today, guys. John says they got lucky beating the Jets. The tape was their time to wake up. John and RB kind of sparring. Tortilla says, John, it's week 2, dude. Vegas, what's up, man? Always great to see my man Vegas on the board. He says, I remember that play. He says, has Johnson made even one guy miss on kick? He hasn't made even one guy miss on kickoff return. If I seen anything that I liked about Johnson, I swear to you, I would admit it right here. I would tell you what it is that I see in him that I like. I like him even less than I thought I was going to. I want to be honest. He showed me less.
Oh, Mark Malone and him huffing paint said he was going to be good, and I believed you.
Well, I believed you because you're a big Ten guy. I figured you knew what you were talking about.
No, I see Mark Malone in his paint brought me into it. I was not a big Caleb Johnson. I liked him until I saw his 40 time, but then the paint huffer convinced me. Him in the bum behind the parking lot.
John says, Taj, this has been death by 1,000 cuts for years. It is the Steelers' approach to the game. It is outdated, and they are too stubborn to change, which I can't say is wrong. And it's from the top up. I think it's you got to look in the owner, up to the owners too. I think it's top to bottom. I mean, for us to blame one person, it's unfair. I think the one person is to blame, but I think that there's a whole lot of other people to blame as well because they're not stepping in and fixing it, whatever that may be. They just can't continue to let it go the same way. Again, the defense played the way that it did in the last 5 games of last year. We lost 6 of our last 7 games. That's not good by any standard.
It's good to get you a top 5 draft pick.
And you know what? That sucks because we're not going to get it. We'll stumble into a 500 record. Is what's going to happen.
We're at 9-8, baby.
We're going to
9-8's the floor always.
We're going to we'll sputter all the way to 9-8 just so we don't get a good pick. Just so people could defend the coach again. Tortilla says, I'm sorry. Okay, Cody says Caleb Johnson only runs horizontal. Vertical isn't his vocabulary. At least try to make a guy miss. Tortilla says, I'm not just blaming Caleb, but I am saying even though we played bad, we still played good enough to win until the rookie mistake. We're going to get into a lot of things that didn't go right. Let me get to. I refuse to blame this whole entire loss on Caleb Johnson. Yes, it was a boneheaded play, but you know what? At any point in the game, your opponent can score a touchdown. It was the overall product of this game that didn't allow us to win it. We lost by 2 touchdowns, mind you.
Let's say we had 2 interceptions, and I think we got 6 points off of them.
Yeah, we picked them off twice. They only picked off us off once. So I mean, there was a lot of things that played. Again, if we want to call that the reason, it was still a 2 touchdown win. So take that away, you still lose the game.
not converting third downs, not getting off the field on third downs. It's, the same shit that's been plaguing us for the past 4 years now.
Cody says, who the fuck punts the ball on the 50-yard line, 4th and 1, no balls, no balls. But again, if he wouldn't have, and it wouldn't have worked, and we have that complaint. So I'm going to leave that one be. I'm going to leave that be just for now, because if he does go for it and fails, then we're saying that he's the most terrible coach ever. He makes bad decisions. So I'm going to let that slide, because a lot of things happen through the course of this game. Just put it on the shelf. It belongs up there. John says the Eagles have the youngest defense. They are great because of their GM, ACs, and making sure Nick S can't F them up. They're doing a lot of good things over there. No two ways about it. RB says this is probably the worst coach franchise in football. Guys are so unprepared and unfocused, and the game plan never changes. Cody says Jalen Warren's a beast. He really is. Cody, I'm sorry, Warren. Jalen Warren had 14 carries for 48 yards, which wasn't fantastic, but I got to be honest with you, it was a lot more improved from last week when we seen from the running game. And also, he had 4 catches for 86 yards, and his 65-yard catch that got us reception got us all the way down to the 5-yard line was sweet. Yeah, I will not say a bad thing about that man.
No, he's one of the few players showed up ready to play football.
He was. And you know what? Patrick Queen and Jalen Warren were the two guys that I would say looked prepared to be there yesterday, and they came out and brought it. Nobody else looked like them.
I'm saying Jack Sawyer, as the game went on, once he knew he had to play a significant role, I thought he was starting to bring it. Like, he impressed me. I was not impressed with him in week 1. Like I said, I even was never really impressed with him in college, but the effort that he showed out there being thrust into the starting lineup in the second half, I tip my cap to him. I thought he played a whale of a game.
Mike Carroll, welcome to the show. He says,
what up?
Clickbait headline, don't be stupid, Rodgers, one of the few bright spots.
Oh, yeah, you got to have a clickbait headline. It's YouTube, baby.
And, he's one of the bright spots, but he did have a couple interceptions thrown as well.
Held on to the ball forever.
Did take a few unnecessary sacks.
Looked disinterested.
Didn't get the team ready to go as the offensive leader and as the team leader, I think you could call him. But anyway, there's a lot more that happens. So if you're just stopping by to make one comment and bounce.
Thanks for the engagement, brother.
You had your minute. Mark Malone says they were facing a Tomlin D. Tortilla says it was 14-14 and our offense couldn't move the ball. That's why we didn't go for it. And that's what I thought too. It was too close of a game. They were playing field position at that point.
Yeah, from what Tomlin said in the press conference, he was like, both offenses were sputtering. I wanted to pin them back, give the defense an opportunity to make a play on the short field, because they were getting banged up. Yeah,
it was again, and I understand. There was one time that Seattle probably shouldn't have punted, and they did. But at that point, in a 14-14 game, it's all about field. It's all about field position, and I totally understand why they did it. And I'm not against it.
I wanted us to go for it though. I get it, but I'm on your side of I wanted to go for it.
Let's see. John says Artie Smith must call a certain way because of the O-line and Rodgers' old ass. Well, but I thought this 3 tight end offense was just going to blow the mind of the league. That was the big saving grace.
Hey, that got us that tight end group got us the 2-point conversion.
Look at this idiot. This Michael Kara's back. He says Tomlin is a con. You idiots keep believing his BS. You're retarded. This guy's retarded.
This guy's great, man.
And he's ugly. Look at his face. This picture. Cody says both offense and defensive line coaches need to be fired. I agree. I think that the defensive coordinator needs to be fired. Oh, he's back. Mike Kara says Ramsey got cooked all day. Yeah, he made a few plays. Slay is absolutely too old. And this guy, look at this guy. He's coming in with all the hot takes.
Hot take central, baby.
Apparently, Kara knows everything. Maybe we should all tune over to the Mike Kara. Oh, wait. Mike Kara doesn't have a show. Sorry. Tortilla says, and I think we had 2 interceptions. John says, Mike, that is why I don't get excited during the off season. During the next off season, when the endless list of QBs and discussions about the next draft, I have no faith in their ability to assess or develop.
That's fair enough, brother.
Fair enough.
That's fair enough.
Cody says the Bengals backup QB is going. You know what? If we get torched by Browning, I'm done. I don't mean from the show. I'm going to go hang myself right on the spot.
Do it on the show, brother. Do it for the engagement.
Yeah, maybe. Only if Michael Kara is there. Only if Michael Kara shows us his vagina, then I'll do it.
Whoa.
John says the Steelers pick up old asses that were good at one time and many fall for it. Mark Malone says the defense bent over and took a robo-rooter to the anus.
Maybe that's their fetish, man.
John says I wrote all off-season. The time would tell with the unreal. Absolutely. But, I mean, we could all sit around and be negative all off-season. But, you got to hope for the best at some point and
playing for the worst and hope for the
best.
I
don't think nobody did. You're right. Cody says I think Rodgers was on them Joe Biden drugs.
I think he had a bad ayahuasca trip.
Mark Malone says Jesus Peach's strap-on would have been merciful compared to the raping that the defense took.
I know at least Peaches, she's kind enough to use lube. It's your own tears, but it's still lube.
Big giant bottle of lube. Tortilla says, well, it's week 2, and it's not like we can't get better. If we stay in the game playing like shit, I think we can turn things around. Brian says Highsmith is not worth $22 million. The guy has no availabiliability. What's the most important ability, Mike?
Availability, baby.
And he has been constantly injured. Let's just say it's safe to say we could throw him into the injury prone guys.
He's become very injury prone. Before being a little injury here or there, now they're high ankle sprain. I just saw a guy on another team a high ankle sprain out 4 to 6 weeks. So is he going to follow suit too? This is a bad move. I am just when he's healthy, I like him as that Batman to TJ Watt. I don't think he was as good as Bud Dupree was overall, but I like what he can bring to the team. But my God, this is now we got to rely on Herbig and Sawyer on that side.
John says, Mike, you're getting too personal. Grow up. The Roonies won't get rid of him because of the rule. Any other coach would be fired by now due of lack of playoff success. Disagree, but don't get personal. That's kind of where I'm at. That's all.
No, why? You said something stupid, and I thought it was stupid, and I said it was stupid.
Well, but he doesn't.
If you think that's the reason, I think you're mistaken. The Steelers are still they still have some of the highest.
You keep continue to call him stupid. I think is my issue.
I think that's stupid.
Obviously, I don't think he's stupid.
I don't think he's stupid. I like.
But that's the way it's really coming off. And again, that's all I'm trying to prevent.
I don't think he's stupid.
I don't think that should be alienating people. That's all.
Yeah, but I just don't. I think that opinion is wrong.
We don't know. The thing is, we don't. You can't argue this one way or the other because we don't know.
I can just go by the stats that the under Donald, the Steelers are one of the most successful franchises. They're winning a lot of regular season
we're
games.
Talking about here the last 10 years, this team can't win a playoff game. Mike, the first couple
winning
years
a lot of regular season games.
Let me ask you something. The first 3 years of his tenure, very successful. The last 15, not so much.
But we're still up there with a lot of.
He hasn't played good. He hasn't coached good football for 15 years. And if that's not a reason, again, and another thing, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know what policies are, so we can't call somebody stupid because we don't know. Maybe this is what's going on. We don't know.
All I know is this franchise wins a lot of games, is in contention every year and making a lot of money.
Like we haven't been making
a lot of making contention.
This is the longest period of time we haven't been had a playoff win in Super Bowl era. That's not good.
They've had one game in 15 years or one game in 18 years that
means nothing.
That was meaningless. And butts are filling the seats. And that's all that matters.
The butts are going to fill the seats regardless because if you remember the 80s, Mike, we weren't winning. The butts filled the seats anyway. It's Steeler football. They're going to show up. This team has not looked like a contender in a dozen years. That's not a problem for you?
Hey, it is a problem for me, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the ownership. Like, this guy's keeping me making it to the playoffs, close to making the playoffs. Fans are showing up. Why am I going to change anything? I'm making money.
Because it's pro sports and teams that are good do that.
Hey.
Okay.
He's making money.
So is everybody else. So is the team that's winning Super Bowls. Damn, I wouldn't want to win and make money.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
But
That'd be
hey,
too
man,
much effort.
he's making money, man.
That'd be too much work.
He's the Bob Nutting of the NFL. He's making money.
Tortilla says blaming Mike Tomlin as a scapegoat. We were in the game. Stop blaming Mike Tomlin as a scapegoat. We were in the game. If he's blamed constantly for year after year after year, I don't know if he's particularly being the scapegoat for this particular game. I just don't know if he made it any better than it was in the past. But again, that's debatable. Mark Malone says, "My God, these are highly paid defenders. These are the highest paid defenders. There's not a defense that is better paid. That usually equals production." Aaron Jade, what's up, brother? Always great seeing Aaron Jade on the board. Aaron Jade says, "Here we go, Steelers." That's right, baby. Hey, we're back at it next week. We're going to Gillette Stadium to take on them Patriots. We got a chance to get back on it. But again, today, everybody's chippy. I get it. And I'm here for it. Richard says, this team was not coached to win. Both line coaches should be fired. The defensive committee, you're not wrong. There's a lot of things going with this team that's just not right. It's stale. It's very stale. It doesn't look like these guys. Come on, look, watch good teams. We just don't have the manner. We're not on that level at all. Again, Mike, I was putting us in that level right below that. I think we're lower than that. After what I've seen this weekend, the thing was, if I would have saw better this week than what I seen last week and a step moving in the right direction, the fact of the matter is it went backwards. And the Seattle Seahawks, I think, would be a team that's equivalent to the Jets. Different schemes, different playing styles. But again, as far as caliber of teams, again, this isn't one of the better teams in the league. So I was expecting, and again, I said last week, I expect everything to look better. I expect the offense to look better, the defense to look better, and nothing looked better. So again, it was very difficult to prepare for Seattle. That just makes me wonder. And that was my thing, Mike. I said, they're going to look better this week. They're going to run better. They're going to stop the run better. But are they going to be able to do it consistently over the time? And this is really concerning me because they didn't really look that much better against the team that maybe they should have. Again, so, this was a litmus test, as we said. This is what we got. This right now after week 2. You've seen the Steelers play. If they had any hidden tricks, I think that they might have used them in the first couple of weeks. The fact of the matter is, we went out there and got our asses kicked yesterday in a lot of ways. I'm going to go over these numbers again, Mike. I swear I'm going to get there eventually. You know what? I'm going to do that now, actually.
Yeah, let's do that.
Total yards for the game. Seattle has 395. The Steelers 267. Passing yards, the Seattle Seahawks have 278. The Steelers have 165. Rushing, the Seahawks had 117 yards. The Steelers had 72. Remember my over-under, 99 and a half?
Yep.
Not even close.
Yeah, I took the under.
First downs, Seattle 21, Steelers 13.
Can't have that.
Sacks, we sacked them twice. They sacked us 3 times. Penalties were not, and this is why I wasn't complaining, Mike, about the couple of the penalties, because the referees let the guys play.
Yeah.
Sometimes whenever it's too much, it's just too much. This is 2 penalties for 10 yards for them, 2 penalties for 15 yards for us. So this is why I wasn't bitching about yes, he should have thrown the flag for that guy getting thrown to the ground by his face, Scotty Miller. But again, at the end of the day, you only call 4 all day. I'm cool with it for the most part.
Yeah.
It wasn't a game-changing penalty. No. So that is, again, the last thing I'm doing at this point is blaming referees, because I seen that yesterday. Someone said, "Oh, the Steelers lost to the referees." No, they did not at all.
No, I thought it was it was a clean game by both teams. And like you said, if it was like a borderline thing, they let the guys play. I don't remember any egregious pass interference by either team that should have been called that were missed. I thought it was just a good game. No bad holding calls missed. It was a good, clean football game. A sloppy game by the Steelers, but it was a clean game.
Phil says, Phyllis, chill. It's just another game, a terrible coach game, but it's just week 2, and I swear I hear a ping pong ball. I heard it too a couple times.
It's just echoing in the background.
Cody says, Vanilla, you're on my good list. Well, Vanilla's putting his list together too. I got
a list here too. Don't worry, it doesn't include anyone on the board today because I knew it would be heated. It's all about the Steelers. My board today, my list.
Elite, welcome to the show. Always great seeing Elite Fantasy. Elite Fantasy says the rule has zero to do with Mike Tomlin getting fired. They refuse to pay him to sit at home. This is how they operate. They are so damn cheap. Well, the thing about Mike Tomlin, he's going to be unemployed for about 13 seconds. And there's going to be some stupid team that throws all the money in the world at him because they think it's going to change their whole fortune. Let's say, I don't know who, the Bears, for example. Let's say the Bears go, oh, look at this. We could change our whole culture. We could not be the Bears anymore. We could be a Mike Tomlin coach team. I don't know if Mike Tomlin's going and putting up 500 records every year in Chicago. They don't have a good franchise. We do put our coaches in a good position to do things.
Yeah.
So that is that. And listen, I like Tomlin again, guys. I'm finding it harder and harder to defend him. That's all.
Like, and I'm on record. They move on from him. They move on from him. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, make it easy for me, please. By all means, do something to make me.
But that next coach we get better not have a losing season their first season.
Well, he's going to be here for 100 years, so don't lose your seat if it doesn't happen immediately. Don't lose your shit.
It's going to be boom, going from 9-8, 10-7 to a losing season. You can't have that.
Let's see. John says, Mike, don't forget that I was in the Army where performance, not pigment, was rewarded. I have a different view than yours, and that's all right.
Like I put performance above all else too.
As we should. It shouldn't matter. You shouldn't be hired for your skin color. You should be hired by your performance. Matter of fact, Martin Luther King, that was his point. Don't be judged by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character. And that's what I'm about. I don't, if somebody gets hired because of their color, I'm not for it. Not because I don't like anybody. It's because Martin Luther King was right. You earn it, you get it, man. To the victor go the spoils, I guess you would say. MM is Mark Malone. See, you switch it up on me, John. Someday MM is Mike Muller. Someday it's Mark Malone. Someday it's Mark Madden. That's why I had to inquire. That's all.
I got confused.
I'm confused. Mark Malone positively over. Tomlin is unleashing hell.
No. We saved that for December, brother.
The bad football is yet to come, guys.
Yeah, this is an appetizer for the collapse that's going to come. Okay, don't spoil your guys. We got to save some of this venom for later in the season. Okay, we can't blow our wad now. Don't be a derpy and shoot early.
Tortilla says, I feel Tomlin I feel like if Tomlin really were making the players give less effort or didn't prepare the players, at least someone would say something. Roger, well, he's the man. You know what I mean? He's the man. Everyone who doesn't, except for the people out here calling for his head from week to week. Everybody else, he's the man. He can't do nothing wrong. You can't badmouth Tomlin. We haven't won a playoff game in 9 years. He hasn't coached like he did since the 2010 season. But he's the man. Can't blame him, right? Cody says defense relies on splash plays. And your boy, he certainly hit it, man. Jalen Ramsey on that big interception was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Seeing him get his first interception as a Steeler.
He made up for that touchdown. I wish he would have had more pass breakups too, because he was in there close for a couple of them against Cup, man, but he just couldn't break them up. You got to break that play up when you're playing man-to-man like that. Come on.
Mark Malone says the defense had just taken an anal reaming, the possession before the Johnson debacle. They did. They got driven all the way down the field. They scored. They kicked it off to us, and that happened. So
you figured the offense was going to go 3-and-out at that point, and they would either kick a field goal or get a touchdown right after.
Elite Fantasy says, with all that said, two gut-wrenching plays, Austin getting in the way of what see, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot that happened in this particular football game in a way that would have been a touchdown from Youth and causing the pick. Then the Caleb Johnson fumble, that's a 14-point swing. Sorry. Tortilla says, I'm pretty sure that ball bounced off Youth. It did. It bounced around a little bit and into that guy's hand in the end zone.
And I think it went off Calvin, then off Youth, and then in. Yeah.
Couple big ricochet balls in the first couple of weeks, Mike. We had that big one last week.
We caught him in week 1. Week 2, we did not. The Lady Luck was not on our side.
The Steelers have never gone 8 years without winning a playoff game since the Super Bowl era started in '67. That's on Tomlin. Mark Malone, he wasn't coached very freaking well. That's a Tomlin coaching job. Elite Fantasy DK needs some Stiggy. You ain't kidding. This is our number one.
Like I knew he had dropsies coming into it, but I didn't realize we were talking Deontay Johnson level dropsies.
Yeah.
I thought we were like in between Larry Fitzgerald and Deontay. I didn't realize we were on the far end of the scale.
Cody says Jose Canseco in center field going back to catch a fly ball and hits him in the head and goes over the fence. Home run. That was the equivalent of Caleb Johnson's play. I can agree on that.
Uh-huh. But like the Caleb Johnson thing and the Barry Foster thing, they were the same thing. They both watched the ball roll. Like this is like midget football. You see a football lose on the field, you go and pick it up. You go and pick up the football.
Yeah, he walked off the field.
Yeah.
But you know what, DJ, he was an idiot. I'm truly convinced that Caleb didn't know. I'm convinced that or he was unaware what happened was happening. Otherwise, I think he would have made a. I would, as a rookie, you would like to think that he would have made a play or tried to make a play to save face. The fact that he walked away,
but it hit off of you. That's a live ball. Like you.
So you think he knows? You think he did that knowing? Oh, it hit off me. I'm just going to let it bounce in the end zone. Nothing bad. I think that it was a brain fart.
Yeah.
On his part.
Mm-hmm.
And Deontay, his was carelessness. I think that this was a rookie that didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? John says, Mike, you assume they can assess and develop the next QB. There is no indication of that happening. That is another dream. Ralph, what's up, man? Always great seeing Ralph on the board. Tortilla says, John, that's how it goes for most teams. How long was it between Ben and Brady? 20 years, most teams. Yeah, longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
Sad loss yesterday, says Ralph. You know what? A couple more, Mike, and I gotta get back to some numbers here and some things going on.
Yeah.
Fire Tomlin's what Cody is saying on the board. Ralph said this. Ralph says the big money guys need to produce. Absolutely. Well, why don't we just give them all this money and then have them not come here and do anything? That sounds like a great plan. You know, Tallman will never be fired. Was Ralph is saying. John says, TJ, I know that. Remember that during the next overhype off season. William Hanley, welcome to the show. Great seeing you on the board and welcome. William says, swallow it and move on. That's the hardest thing to do. You're right. You're right. That's the thing. I mean, we're here to talk about it, so that's what we're doing. But ultimately, you know, I'm ready for New England.
We got to channel our inner Aunt Peaches and just swallow.
Yeah. Now that's a way to say it. That's a William also says, why didn't they give it to Warren after his big run? Gets me 3 more times if they had to. Yeah, they didn't give it to the guy that was actually having a good day when he needed to.
That's Arthur Smith, man. He starts smelling his own farts and gets in his own what? Like, we're going to take the guy out who's doing well.
John says this. He says Tallman is completely involved with the draft schemes on both sides of the ball and decides who plays. Year he isn't responsible and never gets fired. Why? Because of his regular season record. Tortilla says at John, hard no. Cody says they didn't even blitz that often. It was only like 23%. Field of Steel says Ryan's injuries odds coming strong. This is why we do it, man. This is why we do it.
To watch half the defense get injured.
Big Pun. I do want to say welcome to Big Pun on the board. Big Pun is saying Tallman is the problem.
Great name.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. John says, I'm here to give my opinion, not change others. That is a waste of time. I agree. Let's see. Mr. Loon Table Talk. I like the show. I like the name. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. Mr. Loon Table Talk says it's tape on TJ. They're running away from him more and more. Yeah, they are. And you know what? It really worked last week, didn't it? They just pounded it down Cam's throat and pounded it down Benton's throat, which didn't change often. Keanu Benton, Mike, I'm really, really, really down on Keanu Benton.
Yeah, give me ukulele in the middle.
I like that.
I like ukulele. I can't pronounce his name, and I feel bad butchering it. So I'll go with ukulele. I thought he played well when asked to play in. I thought Black did all right too. But you notice too, like the minute one of the plays they flipped Watt to his opposite side. What side did they run to? They ran away from him.
Right away from him.
Yeah, they flipped sides, and that play went the opposite direction.
All right, let's continue to read. I mean, A lot of people are bringing the same opinions today. I'm just going to read them. Big Pun says coaching staff, roster front office overhauled, on-field product looks the same. Tallman is the common denominator. He must be fired. Tortilla says none of our running backs look good behind the offensive line. Gainwell and Warren's top plays are passes. I don't think we had a 10-yard run all day. I think the longest run we had was a 9-yard run.
It was a 9-yard. Yeah, it was a 9-yard Jalen Warren run.
We didn't have a 10-yard run all day long. Tortilla goes on to say, I don't know why Johnson's on kickoff return. We never put Najee or any starting running back there, all the way back to Najee Davenport.
And before that, Barry Foster.
Yeah, and look how that went.
I know, right? We've come full circle, brother.
We've come full circle. John says claiming Rodgers is mobile is comical. Yeah, I watch tape and know football. Writing otherwise is passive and immature. The thing was he was mobile enough, but he's just not a mobile guy. When you talk mobile, you talk about guys that are mobile, like escapability, like your athletic quarterbacks. But he's not that. But he was able to get out of the pocket and do his rollout and get the ball downfield. So I guess that's worth something. Martin Lewis says, I still see Johnson ripping off long runs in my pain-huffing trances. No more kick returns for Johnson, though. That's Ricardo Coakley flashback type shit there.
Ooh, that's deep cut. I forgot about him.
Forgot about Ricardo. RB says, if you think quarterback mobility is running for yards, you don't know football. Being able to move around in the pocket, step here, slide there, boot left, roll out right is QB mobility. I do want to say welcome to the board, Bahia boy. Welcome to the show. Great to have you. RB says, just shows you how ignorant to football that you. Oh yeah, these two. Every week it's a couple of guys on the board. You know what?
I do to piggyback off one of RB's comments about the mobility. That play action bootleg that Aaron Rodgers had, to where the defenders crashing down on him and ran right at Warren as I think what Rodgers threw a pass. It was just like that type of mobility right there. That's what you need out of your quarterback. And totally selling the fake defender crashing down and still having enough mobility to round the edge and find your guy.
All right. Cody says yes, but that was the easiest touchdown in NFL history. It was one of them. It's up there. No two ways about that. Martin Lynn says, I'm doubling down with the paint this week. Hell yeah, let me tell you. Send a pallet this way, brother. I need to ease my mind. If that's going to be how it is after every Steeler game, I look for Martin Lynn to be brain dead by week 6. The way this team is playing.
I'll go to the Devil's house. Let's go. Bring me some pallets.
Cody says Warren jumped completely over that one guy and ran through their whole defense. That was a beautiful play when he jumped over the guy. Figuring that he's only like 5'10" or something like that. Yeah. He's jumping over fools. Very impressive.
If that play does not get you fired up on the sidelines for you to go out there and give it your all, you're in the wrong fucking business.
Let's see. John says there are plenty of games left to help with the Rodgers mobility argument. Again, time will tell. If I'm wrong, I won't be ignorant, and I will admit it. I wonder if others will do. The thing, and we got to look at it this way, guys, as well. He is 42 years old. You know what I mean? All these fast, fluent moving guys are in their early 20s. You know what I mean? It's kind of what we have. And again, this is the litmus test that I talked about. We're going to learn a lot about this team over these first 2 games, and we learned a lot about this team. Still a lot of questions, yes, but we got a feel of what it is that we have. John says that is Tomlin's D. Austin is just there. Cody says this is easily my favorite podcast. You guys are gold. Look at this face. Thanks, brother. We appreciate that, Cody. You the man. Tortilla says, he's a 41-year-old that tore his Achilles 2 years ago. It's not an assessment to say he's not mobile, but if you watch, he's still able to move in the pocket. If he had no line, I wonder if you're right. If the O-line was playing better, it'd be interesting to see. John says, I write what I think is real. Many can call it negative because the truth hurts. No, you're fine. Hey, listen, everybody's fine. We're all chippy today. I just want to throw that out there. I mean, if it really went, the way we felt, me and Mike would be yelling at each other all day. And again, it's only.
No, it's early, Ryan. It's early. We got like 15 more weeks.
We all feel like shit.
To start yelling at each other.
We all feel like shit after this game. You know what I mean? Nobody feels good, and we're all trying to just figure out what the hell happened. Tortilla says this the Two Dumb Yinzers podcast. If you came here expecting intelligence, we got 2 words for you.
Read sign.
Read sign. There's our disclaimer. I'm not expected to be smart by any means.
I'm here to talk football and have some fun.
That's right. Fearless still says, I think Mike, the bald guy, needs to come back. I'm starting to get a little irritated by Vanilla Thunder. Interesting. Mike, I've yet to hear anybody that was irritated with Vanilla Thunder, but that is very interesting, Phil.
I think, Steele, you're just jealous of the hair, brother.
Ooh. Let's see. John says the NFL is about championships, not regular season success. Oh, you're right. And that's why we're the best, because we have 6 of them. They are very important. You're right. Cody says at least Loudermilk isn't going to be in a starting rotation for a while. RV
I don't mean to laugh at someone else's misfortune, but that was a good comment.
Wait a minute. We laugh at somebody else's misfortune every week. What are you talking about? We usually find somebody and laugh.
Yeah, I know, but you got to put the disclaimer out there. I'm Steele's starting the hate brigade on me. I don't need evidence against me.
RV says Mike is pushing us to boycott. I'm in. Big Pun. Big Pun says Rooney on his second handle VF Jameson already today. RB says we got to stop ignoring the fact we absolutely went to shit last year everywhere, and not a single coach was fired. Not one. Nothing changed this year. And you know what? All we did was went out and we threw a bunch of money around and said, you know what? Let's bring in higher paid guys. That'll fix everything. So, again, we'll continue to watch that play out. As Cody says, oh, no, Loudermilk's out. What are we going to do? John
I think
says,
the run defense got a little bit better the minute he got hurt. Just saying.
Yeah. John says Tomlin hires the coaches, keeps them. If Rooney is forcing Tomlin to keep ass coaches, that is on him. He can go to another team easily with no owner control. Big Pun says Tomlin is 3-10 versus the Patriots, including 0-1 when Bailey Zappi was starting. Remember, the only times we could beat them was when Matt Castle played. And,
that's why I was laughing. I couldn't remember who the bum quarterback was that we beat.
You guys think our training camp is too hard on the players' knees? Man, that's what it got to be. It's got to be the tough training camp, except for the guys that didn't participate.
Yeah,
they should be doing really well though. Let's take a look.
They should be.
Let's take a look. Cam.
Hey.
TJ.
Cam had a deflection.
DK's making all these great catches. I don't know. We'll put together the pieces someday. Tortilla says I'm sorry. Big Pun. Tomlin got that Cash Patel look in his eyes when he faces the Patriots. That
Cash Patel look in the eyes, the Aaron Rodgers look in the eye.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're on the same drugs. What is the FBI doing to my quarterback?
Yeah. John says Ryan's reinforces my argument that Tomlin has control if he is being controlled. Tortilla says, yeah, release the files, Mike Tomlin.
Jesus Christ.
TJ, politics and sports. What is wrong? What is wrong in the NFL in 2025. Another out of line comment. Phyllis still says at the end of the Steelers 2024, I told you, Two Dummies, there's time to move on. So that is what I'm waiting on. Jamal, what's up, dude? Always great to see Jamal. Thank God. That's all I got to say. Thank God Jamal's in the house. Good morning to you, my friend. Good afternoon, I guess, whatever you would call it. Always great seeing you. He says, what up, brothers? Always bad loss, but we'll bounce back. No two ways about it. The thing is, we got to get let me continue. We'll get back to that in a second.
Can't win them all.
Also says that touchdown was on Caleb, not the coaches, and I think he played stupid. And you know what? At the end of the day, that play should have never happened if it was a veteran back there. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to throw I'm not going to throw all the responsibility on Caleb. I'm not. Because, again, we still lose by 7 points. Let's just say you take that away. Let's say he fields that correctly, and you take away that touchdown they scored next. We still lost that game by 7 points. Had it been a 3-point loss, had it been anything else, but it wasn't. It was a 14-point loss. That touchdown was not the difference maker. It was a bad play on a team that's not playing great, and a bunch of other guys who's not playing to their standards. And the defense that's paid highest in the league is giving up 31.5 points a game. Then I might blame it on him, but that, again, dumb play, stupid play. It happened to Barry Foster back in the early 90s. We called it stupid and we moved on. I can't believe how everyone keeps going on social media about this play. This guy don't even deserve to be on the team. This guy deserves to be cut. Well, for one, the guy didn't get a chance. You put him as a kick returner. He ran the ball once yesterday, once last week. Maybe let him be a running back since that's kind of what he does.
Hey, they'd let him carry the ball twice this year. That's more than enough film.
No more drugs for that man, Caleb Johnson. Sticky B, what you know about Sticky B? Sticky B says there was a lot of mistakes in that game. I agree with you, Sticky. But if we're going to take a loss, at least it's a non-division, non-conference. The O-line needs to play better, and the run needs to the run defense needs to show up at some point. Benton is just getting murdered every play. That's not improving. Cam played a little bit better than he did yesterday.
Yeah,
last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And even why Black wasn't able to make big. He wasn't even very, very little difference compared to last week, guys. Big Pun said Seattle player says we're coached to get on every loose ball. Imagine that, a player actually coached to play fundamentally. You know what? That's why there's some teams. Listen, at the radio station, we do high school football games, and there's some teams that, for an example, last week Aliquippa is one of the best teams in the States every year. They've fielded Ty Law, Darrell Rivas, Mike Ditka, Sean Gilbert. They have more NFL Hall of Famers than any high school in the whole world, in the whole country. Last week, they came out and played this team called Avonworth, and they're all white guys. And not to be racy, but the thing was, they came out, nobody beat, every once in a while a team beats Aliquippa, and it's not, they came out very fundamentally sound. They did all the little things right. They paid a close attention to detail, and they didn't make stupid mistakes. And they came out and they beat Aliquippa, which I thought was crazy because, again, Aliquippa is just, they're one of the best teams in the state. They are every year. In this team, again, I'm just calling it as I see it. There's a bunch of other teams that looks like this team that gets killed by Aliquippa weekly. What's the difference between this group of white kids and this group of white kids? This group is coached a lot better than these ones. The fundamentals go a long way in this game. And like I said, teams don't just beat Aliquippa. It just doesn't happen. So, again, that's one thing I did notice by our game that we covered last week on the radio was that this team is very well coached, very disciplined, and that goes a long way. They were able to beat a powerhouse who has mad athleticism. And as I said, usually stomps everybody pretty bad. Most teams intimidated to even go to that field and play them guys. So, again, Avonworth, it just kind of goes along with what we're saying here. Richard says Caleb Johnson should not be on the kickoff receiving team. I think he could be a decent running back, but he needs time to develop. I don't know why they're just throwing him to the wind and saying, all right, well, you're a kick returner now. And they're taking their time at the running back position. He has 2 runs in 2 games.
Yeah.
And he's a running back. Again, was this guy returning kicks in college? Do you know, Mike?
I don't know off the top of my head. I was actually getting ready to look that up. So you keep talking. I'll look up his college stats.
Cody says should have took the Deadpool on Alex High. Yeah, you ain't kidding, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Corey, what's up, brother? Corey Beaver says, hey, guys, how's it going? Sorry I'm late. Nah, you're good, dude. As always, finished recording my first 2 episodes, which I can't wait to hear, Corey. Can't wait to hear all about it. He says, let's not panic. It's week 2. You don't turn over a whole team and get instant success. It takes time. We'll be fine. Phil the Steel says, going to throw this out there. Maybe there's a lot of marijuana being smoked among the Steelers. Maybe.
They need to get the Le'Veon Bell marijuana because that made him play well. Yeah, they got to get that. Caleb Johnson, he returned kicks in his freshman year of college. He had 13, sophomore 2. So really, he hasn't returned kicks, I would say, since his freshman year of college. So he does have experience returning kicks.
Mark Malone says the pay increases my IQ. Corey says we should trade Highsmith for a wide receiver 2 or a left tackle while we can. Yeah, we could sure use that wide receiver 2 yesterday. I'm just saying, guys.
Could use that wide receiver 1 yesterday.
Because listen, I'm watching and I'm thinking, why are we not throwing the ball to Roman? Why are we not throwing the ball to Calvin? They're little. I don't know. They're not number 2 receivers. They're not. You could say, well, Antonio Brown was kind of a little. If he starts performing like Antonio Brown, we'll have a different conversation. And Roman Wilson, the guy finally got a ball thrown to him and he gets clobbered. I mean, these guys are tiny. They're tiny. Mark Malone says, I'm at genius level right now. That's all I cry on.
Oh my God. I hate to see the out of his brain.
Tortilla says we got lucky because of special teams fumble last week, and this week we got unlucky from the special teams fumble. Good way to look at it, Tortilla. Jamal says we got a lot of work to do, my friends. You ain't kidding, Jamal. I don't. It's just kind of like a setback. Again, if they go to New England and look great next week, that'll kind of soften the blow of everything that's going on. But as I said last week, I think we're going to look better this week, and then trying to be consistent beyond that is where I'm paying attention to. We didn't even look better. I mean, things look better, but things also didn't look as good as last week. So consistency isn't even the issue yet. We're not even at that plateau of where we should be on a week-to-week level. Sorry. Corey, I'm sorry, Big Pun says that Corey trade Highsmith, great idea, but unfortunately there isn't a high demand for an over-injured, overpaid outside linebacker. You know what? The Raiders are always out there willing to get.
I was going to say, there is a sucker born every minute, and there's a couple in the NFL.
Chicago, Miami.
Hey, Miami, we'll give you a banged-up Alex Highsmith. You give us Tyreek Hill, and you eat some of his salary. Okay, let's do it.
Who knows? You might get him and not get any results because
That's true.
Mike, we expected the defense to be a lot better with all the moves we made. So there's no guarantees, I guess. Corey Beaver says that Big Pun. There's always one stupid team that eats up Khan's snake oil salesman pitch. I'm sure there's a pass rush needy team that will take a chance. John says Ryan's comment about the defense is why Tallman owns this team's ass play. It is all on him. No more excuses. John follows it up by saying Justin Fields maxed the QB test and is considered the smartest QB in the league taking tests, yet he can't QB. McCarthy was one of the best skill players as a white guy, never pigment, always performance. Jamal says, man, trade for Tyreek Hill and do whatever you need to do to get him is how I'm feeling. Here's the thing. We might end up with Tyreek Hill. That's the thing. They can't win to save their lives. Mm-hmm. Already 0-2, and they're looking really bad. We might end up with Tyreek Hill, but again,
will it make a difference?
Right, because when we were saying, wow, we got Darius Slay and we got Jalen Ramsey and we got DK Metcalf, I would have naturally thought that we would have been better than what we are. Jonnu Smith, I mean, the list goes on. So again, you would assume Tyreek Hill would be an improvement, but there's been very little to show that that's going to be the case. Tortilla says Mike Tallman and Snoop started smoking, and Mike Tallman has been talking in metaphors ever since. Don't smoke with Snoop; it'll lock your brain into freestyle rap mode. That is great.
We got to get some Krylon paint sent to Steelers headquarters.
We got to get a Krylon paint just to sit here in the background. I think that would be good. We'll just refer to it as Mark.
Start huffing it during the show.
John says Christian McCaffrey. Phil of Steel says the season starts after the bye, fellas. You know what? We don't get a home game till after the bye.
Hey, remember the first 4 weeks are just the preseason.
That's right. Especially when you don't play preseason games, it basically
exactly.
is.
Yeah. So.
But again, guys, to New England, to Ireland, to an off week. So in a month, we'll be back to play Cleveland at home.
Whew.
Let's see. Jamal says our defense doesn't look like it's going to improve, and we're way too soft in the trenches on both sides of the ball. We need to play. You said about 10 things in there that make sense. And that very little article, Mike, I seen about 10 things that I wanted to comment as I'm reading it. The trenches are terrible. Offenses, they look better, but yet they don't look good. The defense looked somewhat better. They were stopping the run throughout the game where they weren't last week, but still don't look good. And again, somebody needs to be a playmaker, certainly on this offensive side of the ball. Mike, when your receiver 1 is dropping passes on the regular, when your receivers 2 and 3 are both a total of 4 feet tall, if you stand one on top of each other, I mean, we have issues right now, guys. And again, that's, we were wondering where we were going to be at this point. This is where we are, and we're, again, trying to pick the pieces and figure out what the hell's going on. Sia, what's up on the board? I do want to say hi to Sia. Sia. Welcome to the show, Sia. Great to have you on the terrible board. Trade Tallman for O-line and receiver. Big Pun, who's smarter, Tallman or the goalpost? Let's see. Tortilla says, when they say big play Slay, I didn't know they meant he gave up big plays. Boy, was I fooled. And finally catching up here, Mike. Paint dusters like organic inhalants, Mark Malone, if you're health conscious. Guys, let me kind of blow through a few things here. Listen, the board is gold today.
Iron.
Gold. That is, I usually pull myself away at some point to talk about a few other things, but you guys are amazing as always.
Why
You
we
guys
do
always,
it, man.
Always keep the train rolling, and that's why you're the best. That's why the terrible board is the best board in existence. I can say this, Mike. Let's go a little bit through. I'm going to kind of skim through what happened the rest of the game. Second quarter. What do I have here? We have Ramsey, another jarring hit. He had another one of those hits like he had at the end of the game last week. Yeah. Looking good, guys. So then they had to take a field goal attempt, and they missed. They boinked it off the uprights. So at that point, we're still only down 7-6. DK drops a pass in the next series. Alex Highsmith goes out. Peyton Wilson vomits on the field in the second quarter. Apparently it was the heat that got to him. They were talking about the injuries this morning with Highsmith with his high ankle, Loudermilk with his high ankle. Peyton Wilson, Mike, was nothing more than being hot. It was the heat overheating. He was puking on the field everywhere. Patrick Queens comes up lame with the ribs. I thought this was going to be big trouble. This guy beasts it, comes back in, too. And he still makes big plays all over the field, Mike, with the ribs. Then the very next, Mike, shortly after that, Cam Hayward bats the ball out of the air into the hands of Nick Herbig, and Nick Herbig runs the ball clear down the field. Mike, I think it was right around the 5-yard line he got to ultimately.
21-yard line.
21-yard line. Then they got down inside the 5. Touchdown pass to DK Metcalf. Ties Brett Favre's pass record with 508 touchdowns. Ties Brett Favre all time. Got the two-point conversion by passing to Darnell Washington. Makes the game 14-7. Is that right? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, 14-7.
Yeah, 14-7. Let's see. At this point, my TJ was still looking moderately good. I thought in the first half, I thought the TJ was he was all over the place. He was making plays. He was in on a tackle. He was affecting the game. So at that point, Mike, they use all their timeouts to get the ball back just to get Rodgers sacked. That one last play before the half was over. I don't know what that was about. Use all of our timeouts, get the ball, and then he gets sacked again. That doesn't happen to good teams usually, but it is what it is. Mike, halftime comes along. The Steelers are up 14-7 going into the third quarter. Third quarter was when because the first point that I made, the first note that I had here was Cameron Johnson looking slow and unexciting. So that must have been the kickoff, one of the kickoffs prior to his mess up. And then they get the ball back. They drive down the field easily. Sam Darnold throws for his 100th touchdown of his career. Not bad, Mike. He's still a relatively young guy.
9-play, 80-yard drive.
9-play, 80-yard drive right down the field.
On just rested defense.
Just like hot knife through butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Steelers get it back, Mike. That's when Jalen Warren had a 65-yard slice and dice run. Now that one was all the way down to the 5-yard line. And then the interception in the corner of the end zone. This is a chance that we had to take the lead. It was 14-14, Mike, and Calvin Austin goes in instead of back towards the pylon. That brings 2 defenders. So basically, you're throwing the ball into a double coverage is what happened. And that is how the interception happened, Mike. A couple of punts, and then that was the end of the fourth quarter. Now, the end of the fourth quarter was tied 14-14. All knotted up, 14-14. Remember that. So they come out, Mike, and they kick a field goal early in the fourth quarter. They take the lead, 17-14. Then it happened.
Yeah.
After they got that field goal is when it happened, Mike. 17 unanswered points altogether. The kickoff touches Caleb Johnson's helmet, bounces into the end zone, and about 3 things went wrong there. You know what I mean? The fact that the ball even stopped right there with 1 foot to go before it went out of bounds, I think is enough. It should have made you lose your mind. But then, as we said, they scored that touchdown. Mike, on our next drive, Pat Freiermuth makes up for that earlier miss down the sideline. He gets his big grab, big throw down the sideline by Rodgers. At the end of that drive, Boz kicks a field goal. Next drive on defense, Sawyer gets his first NFL sack. Kenneth Walker gets a 20-yard 20-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
At that point, Aaron Rodgers is holding his arm at that point in the game. Is he injured? I don't know what's going on with him. Roman Wilson then gets his first catch. Aaron Rodgers throws an interception with 1:06 left in the game. Steelers burn all 3 of their timeouts. Mason Rudolph comes in for 46 seconds, throws a couple completed passes, and the game finishes with a final score of 31-17 by way of Seattle. Steelers dropped to 0-1 or 1-1. The Seattle Seahawks improved to 1-1, and the Steelers are on their way to play New England next, who is also 1-1, guys. So we will continue to learn about our football team as we move forward. But let me catch up on some of these messages real quick here, Mike, and then I got some more things we're going to get into here. Mark Malone, shit, I meant keyboard duster. Keyboard duster, man.
Okay.
I still like Mike. Mike, somebody still likes you, believe it or not.
Who said that?
John.
Oh, I still like John.
Yeah.
I like everyone.
It's Big John Stud.
We're family. You know, you bicker, but you still like each other.
That's what I'm saying. I only fight with my family. I only fight with people I like.
If I didn't like you, I wouldn't waste my time with you.
I mean, it's somebody you
Like,
don't.
that's not like I wouldn't give you shit, and I wouldn't like give you shit in a fun way if I didn't like you. You know,
The Steelers are like General Hospital, old, mid, and your mom loves it. Jamal says Tyreek would make all the difference after DK. No one is open. Tyreek will stay open. And that's the thing, though. He falls in that category of his size, though. He has to be kind of doing one or two different things, and one is going deep, and the other one, he kind of brings his own set of problems too. I think. Otherwise, he'd be blowing it up down on this otherwise bad Miami team. That's just not happening. They're, I agree. I want him. I think we might get him again. Miami doesn't look like they're going to win many games this year, and that could be what it is that moves them down the road. Jamal says TJ didn't make any plays, bro. He had 2 tackles and 2 assists. You know what? He hasn't had any sacks in 7 games. This is the 3rd highest paid non-quarterback in the league. All the way back to last season. The losing streak, the playoffs, this year. Myles Garrett's killing him. I don't know if he got any more this week, but I know he had 2 last week, and TJ had none.
Well, what I find funny is, though, teams are still putting 2 to 3 guys on him.
Oh, because they don't want him to get the sacks. I mean,
yeah, right. Like I'm seeing like the lack of explosiveness. I'm seeing like tight ends like blow them up on plays, but they're still accounting 2 to guys.
He's moving like a white tight end out there.
Yeah,
there's just no athleticism to his movement.
But if 2 to 3 guys are accounting for 1 guy, that someone's got to be running free, and you got to make a play.
Jamal ends up going on to say Cam had 2 tackles, Patrick Queen had 3.
Queen was flying around.
Queen was flying around. I mean, he was making differences on plays. He was sticking people hard. I mean, it looked like he wants to play. But again, the other 10 guys got to be doing something
he
as well.
Was scraping himself up off the ground after every play
with the ribs and everything. I got to give it to him, man.
I'm giving him a pass this game. I thought he played.
These guys with their, they hurt their vagina and they're out for 10 months. The guys playing with hurt ribs. I give him that. This is the kind of guy I like, and I always go on record by saying that. So
Gutty performance.
Jamal says we make every offense look good, and it's embarrassing. It's true. It's true. We don't know if Justin Fields or Sam Darnold is any good at this point.
We need to put Uncle Rico back at quarterback on the opposite team, see if we can make him look good.
He could have thrown the ball a quarter mile back in 1982.
Over those mountains.
And Tortilla says Tallman went from playing chess to checkers to go fish. We getting a first down? Go fish. I like it. Let's go over some other numbers here, Mike, shall we?
No.
Then we got to.
We got
to do some other. We got to do grades still, Mike. Aaron Rodgers goes. He throws for 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Warren runs the ball 14 times for 48 yards. Kenneth Gainwell runs the ball 5 times for 20 yards. Caleb Johnson, of course, 1 time for 1 yard. Warren leading the way for the receivers.
Yeah.
With 4 catches for 86 yards. Muth next with 3 catches, 31 yards. Metcalf, he has 3 catches only for 20 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Wilson leads the way for the defense, Mike, with 7 tackles, 2 assisted tackles in his first sack. Jack Sawyer gets his first sack. Ramsey and Herbig both, of course, having interceptions. Donald goes 22 for 33, 295, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Walker goes 13 carries, 105 yards, a touchdown. And Jackson Smith-Njigba goes 8 catches, 103 yards. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches, 90 yards. Listen to these numbers, Mike. This is the highest paid defense.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 5 yards away from having a 300-yard game. So I'm going to say Sam Darnold has 300 yards. He goes 22 for 33, 295, 2 touchdowns. Walker, 13 carries, 105 yards rushing. Njigba, 8 catches, 103 yards 103 yards receiving. Mike and Cooper Kupp, 7 catches, 90 yards receiving. What did we do? What did we actually do on defense? This game should have been worse than what it was. And again, with those numbers being said, Mike, we can't blame this whole game on Caleb Johnson in that play. Those numbers right there is pure domination by an offense.
Yeah, it was. It didn't look like it.
It didn't look like it, no.
Because they hit them and they had big chunk plays. Like 19 yards, 43 yards, 20
plus yards. If anybody throws for 300 yards, running back gets 100, and you have 2 wide receivers that both have 100 yards, that's a damn good day on offense.
Oh, that's a damn good day.
And this is the highest paid, one more time.
Highest paid.
But supposedly could have been the best defense ever. Generational defense. That's all. P, my man, what's up,
Morgan?
P? Always love seeing P, man. P's back. He says Uncle Rico plays for the Browns right now. His brother is Rocco Rogers playing for the Steelers.
What up, P?
Oh, great seeing P. Hope everything's going well for you, sir. John says Tomlin fired for cause numbers and Tortilla. I'm telling you, Mike Tomlin had a gambling problem. And P says Steelers got Canelo'd out there by Darnold, for fuck's sake. Still love him, though. He my coach for life, though. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is my team. We're all frustrated today. And again, I apologize for Mike and his actions.
That's Vanilla Thunder's action.
I got to tell you, Mike was mild today. Again, everybody's chippy. I acknowledge this, guys. We're waiting to get back. Now we have to wait a whole other week. And that's the thing. You wait for a week, and then you take a loss like this, and it's like, now we got to wait over another week. What if we come out as bad as this next week?
Right. That'll be even better. It's going to be even more compounded hatred.
Mike, let's do some grades. You know the rule. It's a report card A through F. Mike, we're going to go through them. It's not going to be a long segment because we are rounding third. Mike, the quarterback position, Aaron Rodgers, and again, Mason Rudolph, 2 receptions at the end of the game. What grade do you give this quarterback room for their performance yesterday on the North Shore?
I thought Rodgers held on to the ball for too long in some of these cases. I thought he looked disinterested. I'm going with a D+.
Running backs, Mike, running backs. Talking about Warren, we're talking about Gainwell, and we're also talking about Caleb Johnson's 1 carry. Mike, what do you give the running back room for their grades for yesterday?
Jaylen Warren did a lot of the heavy lifting for this team and for this offense, so therefore I'm going to give the running backs a B.
Jaylen Warren certainly deserves it. That guy played his ass off. Tortilla gives quarterback a C on the board. Throw your grades up as well if you'd like up on the board. Tortilla gives the quarterback play a C, and then he also gives the running backs a C. Mike, let's move to the tight end room. This tight end room, we were talking about Pat Freiermuth. We're talking about Jonnu Smith. We're talking about Darnell Washington, and we're talking about Connor Hayward. Got to remember, Washington got a 2-point conversion. Muth caught a big pass down the sideline. Jonnu Smith caught, about 3 or 4 passes.
About 3 passes. Muth had a nice block on one of these nice runs that we had.
I didn't hate the tight ends yesterday.
I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give the tight end a B as well.
All right, and also Tortilla on the board is giving the tight ends a lowercase b. So do what you want with that. The wide receivers, Mike. The wide receivers, we're talking about Roman Wilson getting his first catch, Calvin Austin getting a catch. Both these guys are arguably the number 2 on the team. DK Metcalf dropping some passes. He did catch a touchdown pass. Mike, and where was the Mighty Whites? Where was Miller and Skoranek?
I have no idea where the hell those guys were. They were maybe guarding Aaron Rodgers' ayahuasca. I'm going to give the wide receiving core a D.
All right, Mike. So the wide receivers a D. Tortilla gives them a C. Offensive line, Mike, how was this offensive line to you? Now we're talking all the way across the board.
Mm-hmm.
You know the guys. No need to explain them. Mike, offensive line.
I'm going to go C-. I saw improvement from last week to this week. Not a whole 180, but there's an improvement. So C-, but they got to step this shit up.
Mike, defensive line. Let's jump across the ball here. I want to know what you feel about Cam Hayward. I want to know what you feel about Keanu Benton. I want to know what you feel about Black. I want to know what you feel about all these gentlemen on the defensive line. Mike, what do you give the defensive line for their grade?
This one is tricky because there were times that they looked good.
They improved.
And then there were other times like, okay, this is the D line I know and love, giving up gaping holes. So they were all over the place. But I think as the game went on, they got worse and worse. They're getting a D as well.
All right, the line interior
there were
line
bright spots, but few and far between on that D line, man.
So he gave the offensive line a negative F and also a flunked to the defensive line on the board. That's Tortilla. Guys, the interior line, it's a good place to start if you're going to complain about and argue about what's going on with this team right now. Let's get to the linebackers, Mike. Now it's interesting. Let me explain. Patrick Queen, I thought he played very gutsy with the rib injury. Yeah. He still managed to get his hat on a lot of nice hits throughout the course of this game. Peyton Wilson,
up and down.
This guy, can he make a tackle like a normal person, or is he going to grab everybody by the waist and pick them up and body slam them for the rest of his career? This is his second year. It's a legit question. Alex Highsmith, injured. TJ Watt, moving all over the place, still doesn't have a sack. Jack Sawyer has more sacks in yesterday's game than TJ has in his last 7. Mike, how do you grade the linebacker room?
They're getting beaten coverage too. I want to go.
As Mike breathes heavily.
This is true. I know. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go. Go D+.
D+ for the linebacker room overall. Mike, let's talk secondary. Let's talk defensive backfield. Eccles, Thornhill, Clark, Slay.
Yeah.
Ramsey. Yeah. Mike, what do you give this defensive backfield?
Yes, I know Ramsey had a pick, had that big hit, but a lot of those yards given up were on him. Not I'm giving these guys a big old whopping F. I didn't like what I saw. Did not like what I saw from them. I expected more. Tortilla
gave the linebackers a D for Dookie. And then he gives the DBs an A for ass. Mike, let's move to special teams. Now, you can't throw an F on the special teams because, again, perfect kicking by Chris Boswell. The guy never misses. The punting by Waitman has been almost perfect. Yes, they're giving a little bit up on coverage, but I kind of give that up to, you got to kind of put that toward the new rule, the new return rule. You figure they were so good at not letting up big kickoff returns prior to this year because nobody returned the ball. We have nothing to base this off of because nobody's returned a kickoff in years. So, Mike, you're starting to see people return the ball, and actually get some production out of it. So I don't know if you could come down that hard on that. So Caleb Johnson might be the ultimate deciding point. The bonehead play. Mike, ultimately, what do you give special teams? Because at the end of the day, it wasn't terrible.
But it wasn't great.
It wasn't great. And again, we could have certainly went without that Caleb Johnson blunder.
That's what the tough grade is on the special teams, because that one boneheaded play was like a 14-point swing right there to change the complexion of the game. But like you said, he's a rookie. Fuck. Yeah, it sucks. Kind of like Big Zeus is saying, kicker A, F for everyone else in special teams. I think Boz and Waitman, I give those guys A's and B's.
I'm very happy with the Waitman. You know what? They had the competition. And I was – because remember, Johnston got hurt last year, and then Waitman got the job. And I've been wanting to see Johnston, but you know what? He's gone now, and I love Waitman. This guy, Mike, he kicked the ball into the end zone once yesterday when I would have liked to see it stop between the goal line and
that big 64-yarder. Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. I'm very impressed, Mike. He's one of the better kickers, and the guy got a boot on him. The hang time on his kicks. I'm not complaining. We got the right guy.
Yeah, I'm going kickers A, everyone else F.
All right, so you and Big Zeus
me and Big Zeus.
All right, guys, coaching. Mike, what do you give to coaching for the day? Now, this is everybody. This is Danny Smith, and this is Mike Tomlin. This is Arthur Smith. This is Terrell Austin. Mike, what do you give to coaching overall for this game yesterday?
Fuck it. On defense, I liked the way they were moving guys around in the front. Just didn't pan out. Fuck it. Because it didn't work. It's got to be an F.
All right.
It didn't work. I'm giving it an F. They tried something new that we all wanted to see, and it didn't work, so I'm giving it an F.
Mike, and finally, overall, what do you give the Pittsburgh Steelers for their home opener of the season? First game of the North Shore, 1 of 8 on the year. Mike, what do you give this team overall?
Oh, I'm giving them a big ass F.
Are you really?
Yeah, okay. Players getting beat one-on-one. I'm just,
it wasn't good. You're right.
It was not good, but
I didn't say that like I'm surprised. I just
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with an F. It was a shit game. Aaron Rodgers wanted to be in the middle of the jungle somewhere.
All right, so you know what? I'm not seeing any big disagreements on the board overall. Phil is still saying an F. Big Zeus is saying F for fuck them. Tortilla, I give the coaches a B for butt fuck. But no, that's guys. Again, I don't know if they deserve much better than what you gave them, Mike. Let's catch up on some more of these messages, and then we will start rounding third, Mike. And you know what else we're gonna do? Pull up the week schedule real quick on your end, because we continue tonight. NFL football, that's right, baby, all the way through Monday Night Football. 2 games tonight, not 1, but 2. First, the 7:00 game is between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. That's at Houston, and then the 10:00 game. This is a team that I kind of sneakily been liking, Mike. You know that the LA Chargers. I like the way they're building their team out west. The Chargers are going out to Vegas to play the 10:00 game, the West game for the Monday Night Football tonight, guys. So Monday Night Football all through the week, all the way up through to tonight, Mike. But Mike right now is going to give you the scores from the games that we already know throughout the weekend, Mike. Floor is yours.
Oh, the floor is mine. I got to go run through the games?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you kind of threw this one on me. Let's see. Starting Jacksonville, Cincinnati. Cincinnati pulls off the win of Joe Burrow being hurt 31-27. Next up, we had the football Giants at the Dallas Cowboys in overtime. On the third possession, Dallas wins it with a field goal after Russell Wilson said, fuck it, Malik Neighbors is down there somewhere. Malik Neighbors was not down there. Then Detroit just kind of whooped the Chicago Bears ass 52-21. Los Angeles Rams beat the Tennessee Titans 33-19. I think Cam Ward had his first career touchdown pass in that game. Then Miami choked at home against New England 33-27. Tyreek Hill, one step closer to being a Pittsburgh Steeler. The San Francisco 49ers, minus every skilled player, beats the New Orleans Saints 26-21. How about them Jets? Everyone thought they were going to be a powerhouse. Justin Fields was going to be the next great quarterback. Buffalo wins 30-10.
If you didn't see, let me just jump in real quick. Josh Allen, nose broken. He goes to the sideline. They pop it back into place. He goes back out there to finish the game. I've said since day one, this guy is the modern Big Ben. I don't change my opinion on that. Guys, that is exactly what Ben had happened to him against Baltimore. Broke his nose, went to the sideline, popped it back in place, went back out there. Josh Allen is the current Big Ben.
He's a beast. He's a beast. Seattle, Pittsburgh, we all saw that abortion of a game. Let's not talk about that. Your Cleveland Browns drop one to Baltimore 41-17. Jesus Christ. Fucking love it when Cleveland loses. Who would have thought? Who would have thought Danny Dimes beats the greatest defense in the NFL right now, the Denver Broncos? 29-28. Arizona.
Unbelievable what Indianapolis is doing right now. It really is.
But
and here we are with the highest paid defense.
Indy has some. I love a lot of the players on Indy. They have some really good fucking players. They just needed a quarterback. Who thought it would be Danny Dimes? Who would have thought that missing chromosome looking fool would turn into a football savant the minute he got out of New York? Arizona and Carolina, a little tight game there, 27-22. Arizona's midget beats Carolina's midgets.
And going back to Indianapolis for a second, Mike, Danny Dimes is doing things that's never been done in the history of the NFL.
Right?
He drove that team to 10 straight scoring drives to start the season in a row. Yeah. Nobody's ever done that. Danny Dimes in that Indianapolis Colts team did it. Mike, this team, that's insane.
Dude,
they haven't punted yet. They haven't punted yet.
They haven't punted yet. And Denver has a really, Denver has a nice
They
defense.
got a damn good defense.
They got the reigning defensive player of the year on defense, and he threw for 319, 316. He was still Steve Austin. Super Bowl rematch. Philly 20, KC 17. Things aren't looking too good down in Kansas City.
We called it right here. 0-2 Chiefs to kick it off. And you know what? I could prove it because our picks tell us, Mike, a lot of people did pick Philadelphia. A lot of people knew that Kansas City was starting 0-2.
Yep. And then last night, Atlanta 22, Minnesota 6. J.J. McCarthy, welcome to the NFL. It's not as easy as it was last week.
Hey, you're right. Again, these guys are coming up on our schedule.
Yep.
Just a couple weeks over the pond, guys. So we'll be getting prepared for that. But next is, of course, 1:00 this coming Sunday against the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. We're going to go up there against a 1-1 Patriot team who's not looking that great either. They just kind of stumble their way through some of these games. They lose to the Raiders last week. They beat Miami this week. So not a great team. Again, I'm going to say the same thing I said last week. I'm expecting us to play better. I'm expecting us to look better. But now I'm starting to wonder if that's actually going to happen, Mike. I've been saying it every week, and we certainly have been seeing it in small doses. But whoever mentioned that last on the board last week about the 1 step forward, 2 step back thing, we're kind of in that now. A little bit of sand. What was that? That quicksand.
Yep. Walking
in place. We have to start moving forward at some point, guys. Hopefully, at least. Mike, let me jump back up here for a couple messages. Let's see. Sticky B, what you know about Sticky B? Sticky B says, is it still early enough to hopefully they improve? I'd rather make these dumb mistakes early. They're human and make mistakes. Hell, even Pouncey had a goof in a playoff game, which cost us 7, but he was awesome. I agree. And that's the thing, none of us are, we're all just kind of shell shocked, I think. Somewhat, because things certainly there should be things that are happening different for us that aren't. Yeah. Again, the highest paid defense for how many years in a row now? We've given up 65 points, 60 some points. A lot of yards. I forget what it was. Almost 800 some yards to this point. We've given up. So for a defense making that much money, and we went out, like I said, we put together this. We went out and picked. It's the star-studded defense. Go through the names. I mean, this is not a bad defense by any means. P says, giving the I hope the weather was good. Maybe Pickens was right. And you know what? So are we, because they're saying the same thing about Pickens down there in Dallas. People are starting to get irritated with him already, the fans, and he's only been down there for 2 games. So maybe we were right. Maybe Pickens was right. Maybe we were all right. I don't know. Nobody's looking that great. Again, the Cowboys just barely beating the Giants at the end of that game, Mike. Nobody's looking that great right now, with the exception of a couple teams. Jamal says it's Game Blitz with Izzy 6. You're welcome anytime. Phyllis Steele says former Steelers finish a wow game moon ball, loses it for the Giants, and Pickens catches the ball that sets up the game-winning field goal. Okay, I see what you're saying. The former Steelers there. Gotcha. Jamal says, laugh my ass off at Big Zeus. I'll keep that in mind because I don't want to hear it. LOL. P says Josh Allen is Big Ben with a better childhood and personality.
Holy shit.
Let's see what else we got here. I do want to say hi to, let's see, Phil NYE, the crypto guy. What makes the season so crappy? And I do want to say welcome to the board. Great to have you on the terrible board. What makes the season so crappy so far is there's no clear great quarterback in college right now to draft. Our luck, we will get the first pick and get Kenny Pickett 2.0. Yeah. The guy, yeah, I know. I agree. Nobody's looking that great. But there's a couple guys. Down there, but again, we'll still continue to follow. There's about 10 more games, 10 more weeks left in college football, 9 more weeks. 007. What's up, 00? Great seeing you as always. On the board, welcome Joe Burrows with the bum toe. He is out for 3 months, 00. And I want to say, hey, what's up, man? I haven't talked to you for a while. P says Joe Burrow has the health of a really, really tough kid that may have hemophilia. And then John says historic defense. That is like running a $10,000 hooker who's a quadriplegic. Maybe you pay extra for having less moving parts. I don't know. You
never know what she might do. She might be worth that $10K.
She just might be, Mike. But again, guys,
that has hemophilia, a quadriplegic hooker. I love you guys.
You guys are,
Oh my
God,
they're
finishing strong. Bottom of the 9th, they're hitting the shit out of this ball, Mike. And also, I do want to say this, guys. are you more annoyed by the Aaron Rodgerisms as his play continues to get a little worse? Again, I don't know how many times yesterday I've seen through the course of this game, my heart is beating as is everybody else's, and you're sweating and you want to win and you don't know what's going to happen. And he takes that chin strap off in between plays and just snaps it on the other side, calls the play in the huddle, walks up to the line, unsnaps it, and puts it back on. I don't know. Just as I said, if he was playing good, maybe that wouldn't have bothered me as much. But the Rodgerisms were just bugging the shit out of me yesterday, Mike. That and his miming every penalty that he thinks.
Oh my God!
Penalty. Yeah. He just stands there and goes like this. You want the referee to change the call because you're doing this? So again, when he wins, it didn't bother me. Yesterday, the Rodgerisms, they were bugging me.
Yeah, they're getting annoying.
Couple things, Mike, and then we are going to get ready to get into the trivia of the day. Stick around, everybody. I think this is a pretty good question, Mike, but I do want to fly through a couple things real quick. Our other football team here in Pittsburgh, the Washington Riverhounds, our soccer team, of course, they take a loss to Louisville FC 2-0 yesterday. They'll be at Hartford Athletic next week. On the collegiate level, Mike, Pitt, they lose the backyard brawl in an overtime game. West Virginia wins that one 31-24. They'll be hosting Louisville in 2 weeks. And also Penn State, Mike, they win big over Villanova. They finished 52-6. They'll be hosting number 6 Oregon in 2 weeks. So both of our squads here in PA, they get an extra week off to get ready for some conference games. Mike, number 2 Penn State, number 6 Oregon, 2 weeks from this past Saturday. And finally, the Pirates, they dropped the series to Washington. They are off today. Their next series is they'll be hosting the Cubs for 3, game 1 of 3 tomorrow at 6:40. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinzers.com. For everyone who's new here, we got some, we've got all of Ryan and I social media links over there. We have a merch store over there, and we have Vanilla Thunder's Dumb Thoughts. Go check out this one to get my thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and his ayahuasca trip.
Yeah, really good article. Go check it out.
And go check it out. Me personally, I find it funny. I chuckled. So check it out at the2dumbyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumbyinzers.com. All right, Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. Time for how well do you know your enemy? How well do you know your opponent? Of course, on this show, as the Steelers build their way and work their way toward their game every week, the question of the day will be about their opponents. So this is, of course, no different. Today is going to be the New England Patriots. That is going to be the trivia. Where'd you go, Mike?
This camera.
I can't ask you. It's funny it went off right when it was time for you to answer.
I know, right? I was getting ready to have I had my hands up like this. Of course, my camera does not want to come back. I had my hands up like this, and the camera went out.
All right, pull yourself together. Here we go. Ready, guys? Here we go. Question of the day: the Patriots and the Steelers played each other 35 times. 35 times in the history of these two teams. How many wins did the Steelers have in New England? Steelers and the Patriots played each other 35 times in their history. How many wins did the Steelers have in New England? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, right here on the Tube.
On the Tube.
Corey says you're Googling. Damn right he was.
I was not Googling.
Question of the day. New England and Pittsburgh has played each other 35 times in these teams' history. How many wins do the Steelers have in New England? Guys, Richard is saying 5 all-time on the board. Throw your answers up on the board. Mike, any guesses, any thought process on this? 17. Phil still says 17.
So you figure it's probably, at most, probably 15 games there if they would do an even split, which they really don't do. I'm going to go with 7 wins.
7 wins all time? Not bad pick.
Wins.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, we're going Big Ben, baby.
All right, here we go. Final answer. All right, Mike, everybody on the board, Phil still says 7. Richard says 5. Guys, New England and Pittsburgh played each other 35 times in the team's history. How many wins did the Steelers have in New England? Mike said 7. Phil says 17. Richard says 5. Guys, the correct answer, of course, the amount of Steelers wins in New England throughout the history of the two teams, Mike, 4 times. Ooh. Pittsburgh Steelers won 4 games in New England out of 35 total games. And that is the correct answer. Corey says, in my time, I don't remember us winning but one game in New England. So I'm going to say, you're right. We haven't won a lot. Certainly in that 20-year span of Tom Brady, we certainly did not go up there and win a lot. Jamal's pick was 3. P says 23 wins, had to be 17 just in order, just in the New England white guy on the helmet photo. That's when they were, believe me, because again, that Tom Brady era, we definitely didn't. It was Matt Castle. We beat him, I think, in New England the one time. And you know what? Remember the one year was a Halloween game? We weren't even expected to beat them, and it was real weird because we beat them on a Halloween. We just did not have any luck, guys, with those New England Tom Brady, Bill Belichick teams. But yes, the correct answer, guys, is 4. They won 4 times in New England in the team's history. Guys, again, Steelers back to practice tomorrow. The Mike Tomlin press conference will be tomorrow. We'll get up to date on all the injuries and everything going on within the team's walls, and getting ready for New England. Put the Seattle game behind us. I'm sure they're watching film today. I'm sure they're trying to catch up and figure out what the hell went wrong. But we will be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again and get caught up on all that information and much, much more. Also, I do want to say, Mike, the results get in on this CBS Pick'ems, guys. We do this. Anybody can get in. Yeah. It takes 30 seconds to join. Mike's going to put the link up on the terrible board, and also you can just go right outside here on our Facebook page. The link is right at the top. Go on that, enter. It takes 5 seconds, 30 seconds, get entered, and you can pick with everybody. We got about 10 people from the board on there right now, Mike. Everybody did really well yesterday. RB, Finch, Cody, myself, Mike, and Derpy, we all got 10 correct yesterday. Richard, Vegas, Corey, Phil still all got 9 yesterday, but guys, don't worry. There's still 2 more games in this week. Anybody could win this week, and then overall the standings look like this as of right now. RB, Richard, they have 23 overall wins. Finch, Vegas got 22. Me and Cody and Corey got 21. Mike has 20. Derpy 19. Phil is still 10. So guys, do click on the link. As I said, sign up. Takes 30 seconds. It's totally free. See if you could beat Mike and myself and everybody on the board at making the picks, guys. Again, tomorrow we'll pull out the picks from the show, and we'll also pull up the results from the and the CBS Pick'em picks, Mike. But again, very, very close this week. Everybody 10s and 9s at this point with 2 games left tonight. So anybody could technically win this week, guys. So good luck to everybody who participated as well. What else do we got here? I do want to say this. I want to say, if you haven't had a chance, go check out any of our social media. We're all over the internet, guys. Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing over, hit the follow button to keep up with what the 2 Dumb Yinzers are up to on a day-to-day basis. And also, guys, I do want to say, if you haven't yet, also hit the like, sub, and share button down below. It helps us out greatly. We appreciate it. Mike, did get the link up on the terrible board, so go ahead and hit that. If you do want to participate, guys, it's a lot of fun. It doesn't cost anything. Why not make your picks and see how you do? Let's see. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. I'm going to go right here to my man, right here where Corey says, I'm calling it now. By Wednesday, we'll have Tyreek Hill or Brojo will be benched. Interesting. You know what? Miami doesn't seem like they're going to be winning anytime soon. So again, either KC or Pittsburgh are the front runners from what we understand as of right now for Tyreek Hill. Mike, anything before we get ready to wrap it up for the day?
Yeah. On my friends and enemies list, aka Schindler's List and the Nixon list.
Schindler's List. Yeah.
On Schindler's List, we're going to go Patrick Queen. I thought he played a tough, solid game. He battled through that injury. I'm going to give Jack Sawyer, he's going to get on there. He stepped up as the game went on when called upon. I liked what I saw out of him. And obviously, Jaylen Warren, he's at the top of Schindler's List. That dude is a cannonball. The Nixon List. The entire coaching staff, the entire offensive line, the entire defensive line, the entire secondary, the entire wide receiving core, and the grounds crew. Because fuck them.
All right, and I do want to give a game ball to the board today.
Yes.
The game ball, I decide, goes to the entire terrible board. Guys, you're amazing as always. You know what? Yes. And you kept us from going and hanging ourselves. Basically, after this game, we were ready to go hang ourselves. But you guys always keep things interesting here on the board, and I do want to say thank you for that. You guys deserve the game ball today. I do want to say thank you to everybody at home. I also do want to say thank you to everybody. Maybe you're in the gym. Maybe you're at at work, maybe you're in the car, maybe you're just at home watching on your TV. Thank you too. You guys are amazing. We appreciate you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Mike, we are approaching home plate. You do, Jamal. You guys are awesome. I really got to give it to you guys every day. We're such a big part of this show, guys, and we do appreciate each and every one of you. We truly do. Mike, we're about to touch home plate. Anything before we rolled it for the day?
I got nothing, man. You guys rocked today.
You really did, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Again, hopefully with a lot more information and scoop, and maybe things will start getting better for this team. But, guys, it's only 2 games. We got New England, not a good team. Let's get back on track with the win. Head over the pond. Take care of Minnesota. They didn't look great last night. Then come home and start playing some division games, guys. A long way to go. We got this. We're the Steelers, baby. Black and gold all day, every day. For Mike, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Got nothing, brother.
Thank you so much, everybody. You're awesome. We hope to see everybody tomorrow. For Mike in the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, for myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, have a great, great Monday. Enjoy the games tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.